Finally, today is the day for sure. After 20 years of waiting, I'm finally going to be 20 in exactly 14 minutes and 28 seconds, 27, 26, 25. Most people awaken in their late teens, but for me, it seems it is determined to awaken me at the last possible moment. If there wasn't a guarantee from the admins that everybody will awaken before the age of 20, I would have thought I was doomed to never awaken, but never mind that, only 8 minutes left. Only 3.2? 1. Come on, awaken already, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, flash gasp finally. Congratulations Natasha Smith, you have awakened. Granting tutorial bonus. Granted. Status screen. Name, Natasha Smith. Race, human. Sex, female. Offensive job, none. Artisan job, none. Level, 1. HP, 150/150 plus 1 point per minute. MP, 150/150 plus 1 points per minute. Stats. Strength, 10. Agility, 10. Endurance, 10. Vitality, 10. Intelligence, 10. Wisdom, 10. Attack power, 30. Magic attack power, 30. Speed, 30. Defense, 30. Skill list, 1. Werewolf, unique. Proficiency list, 0. On the first hour of the year 2000, a gate with monsters appeared, but they were really weak and easily contained. Shortly after any immediate risk was dealt with, the admins appeared, and they explained that they've come to this planet to start the 50 years tutorial. Simply put, the planet will gradually become infested with monsters, and they will help us in developing and trade with other planets while ensuring that we won't be wiped out. They made a portion of the population awaken and told us that the process of awakening will happen to everyone born after the January 1st, 2000 before the age of 20. I was born on April 30th, 2028 and today is April 30th, 2048, so 2 years left of the tutorial. Apparently, after the tutorial, people will awaken with stats between 5 and 10, but the tutorial bonus assures an overall 10. Also, everyone gets a skill when awakening. There are 6 ranks used by the system: common, rare, epic, legendary, mythic, and unique. Unique doesn't mean powerful, it means quite literally unique, well on the planet at least. Those are skills that only have one copy and can only be obtained as a starter skill. I got a unique skill. It even sounds strong. What does it do? Skill. Name, Werewolf. Rank, unique. Effect, permanently change the race of the user to werewolf. Usage left, 1. Condition of use, read the description. Skill werewolf has been activated. Thud. A note from Stollard. Flash. I wake up with a jolt with a screen right before my eye. Transformation complete. Skill, werewolf has been used up and will now disappear. Holy shit, I've got a dick. After the shock of the surprise passed, I started feeling happy. I always had a futanari fetish and wished to become one, but for it to happen with such a big dick, I couldn't help but be happy. But now that I think about it, I'm pretty calm for someone that lost her humanity. I got to my laptop and opened it. Click clack, there is an interview of Admin Van and Theo Cox on the subject. Today we receive Admin Van and Theo Cox, the first victim of race-changing skills. How are both of you going? Well enough, thanks. Good, thank you for granting me the opportunity to talk directly to an admin. Yes, yes. Well, let us not wait any longer, so Mr. Cox, I've heard you have a question to ask Admin Van? Yes, so Mr. Van, I was the first to obtain a unique race-changing skill, but when my race changed from human to angel, I did not feel scared, panicked, or any other normal reaction. Is there a reason why? Well, Theo, the reason for that is simple. Unique skills are skills that come from an affinity the person has. In your case was with religion, I supposed. This affinity helped you and all the others except more easily you are changed, but also in the tutorial, there is a calming effect that the system uses to help you along. And have you probably seen for yourself, race-changing skill comes into parts, the transformation, and the acceptance. Once you fully accept your situation and your mind become fully of the race you now are, then you gain skill and proficiency unique to the race. In the tutorial you also gain a title. Race-changing skill only occurs at the start of a planet integration because its purpose is to create a new race on the planet. That SY race-changing skill are very strong since they make you at the forefront of a new race, but just for precision, it only happens on planets with only one intelligent species. I see, well you have pretty much answered all my question. That's why we are here. Well, that certainly was informative. On to another Sue. After that, it switched to an unimportant topic. Well, that explains why I'm so calm, but for now, let us eat. It seems I was asleep for a full day during the transformation and I'm super hungry. I hope I have anything left in the fridge. I go to the other side of my one-room apartment and open the fridge and grab the first thing that grabs my attention, rip the plastic and start eating. Only after a few bites do I realize that I was currently eating the raw pork chop I had brought. Cough cough. What the heck? It doesn't even taste raw. Wait, I guess I'm a monster now, so I suppose eating raw is fine? Ugh, let us still try to find something else. After a couple of minutes of checking my mini kitchen, I found nothing more appetizing than raw meat. It does look really good. Oh well, let us just eat it and worry later. After eating my fill, I started to look around. I have always been an introvert. I was happy with the tight space of my room, but now it feels so suffocating. For some reason, I really want to get away from here, maybe to a forest? Wait, maybe it's the instinct of a werewolf? Should I just go live in the forest or should I stay here? Let us decide tomorrow. It seems that transforming does not count as sleeping. I got on my bed and curled up in a ball like a dog. I naturally took that position, and now that I'm in it, I don't want to move. Oh well, what's the harm? Yawn. I woke up the next day and looked around. Immediately I got a huge sense of discomfort when looking at the small space and the cities outside. I nearly ran outside but stopped myself. It seems that a werewolf does not like being inside a city. It seems today I'll need to move to a nice little cave inside a forest. That sounds very nice. Or not. It seems I have a really strong instinct that conflicts with my human mind. I will need to come to terms with them. But first I need to go register for a new race. I took a sheet from my bed and tried to improvise clothing. My body changed so drastically that it was no use trying to put on my old clothes. After achieving a somewhat satisfactory result, I took my phone and wallet and walked to the Closet Hunters Association building. I made sure to live close by since I was waiting for my awakening. While I walked, I gave a call to my boss. I have a nice office job close to my house, but if I'm going to go live in the wood, I don't think it will be best to keep it. Hello? Hey boss, it's Natasha. Natasha? What happened to your voice? Did you finally awaken? Yes, I did, but I got a race-changing skill. I'm now a werewolf. A werewolf? I see, must be hard. No, it's surprisingly easy actually, but I'm mainly calling to say that I quit. I'm pretty sure a werewolf is not a race that works in an office. Yeah, well that's too bad. Do you want to come in and go through the procedure? I'm free right now. Well, I need to register, so could you just do it and send me my last pay? I don't really care for the severance bonus or all that. I can do that, no problem. Well, it was nice working with you. Good luck. Thanks, you too. Click. Well, glad that's dealt with, and I'm right in front of the association. It's a 10-story building with windows everywhere with the logo of the Hunter Association on its side. Since it's just a branch, it doesn't have all the high-tech and magic displays of the main one, but it's still a grand building. The Hunter Association is the government that deals with all hunter and monster-related business. They test hunters and, using the ranking system the world decided decades ago, give a rank to every human. We use a mix of the system rank and our own. Hunters are graded from common to mythic, but each rank got 1 to 10 stars. 0 stars mean unoffensive and are generally civilians, and a 1-star common hunter is someone that can hunt alone a common monster that the Hunter Association graded a 1-star rating. Anyways, I got inside and directly rushed to the counter. Ever since I got outside I felt the stare of everybody and I really wanted to deal with this so that I can buy clothes. I need a license so that I don't get attacked because they think I'm a monster. At the counter I'm greeted by a young miss, accompanied by a heavily harmed hunter. Hi. Miss? Yes, I just awakened and I got a race-changing skill, so I came to register all this. Ah yes, certainly. The girl relaxed and the guard left. So, can you show me your status? Status. Name, Natasha Smith. Race, werewolf. Sex, hermaphrodite. I see, can you give me your ID? Here. I take my ID with the human photo of me on it and gave it to her. Very well, come with me please. Since you had a race change, we will send someone who will discuss the situation with you in detail and receive help with your new situation. The receptionist guided me to an elevator and made it go to the 9th floor. She led me to a very luxurious waiting room. Here we are, he should arrive shortly. You can wait here, don't hesitate to serve yourself a drink or a snack. Thank. I went ahead and sat on one of the leather couches facing each other and started to look for a forest where I could establish myself. I also searched for clothes that would look good. After 15 minutes of waiting, a middle-aged man in a black suit entered. Hello, Mississippi Smith, I am the head of the new race integration branch of the Hunter Association, Richards Gray. Hello. So, when did you awaken? It was 2 days ago, one was taken by the transformation and the other I slept through. Ah yes, It seems you were quite the late bloomer. How close were you to turning 20 when you awakened? 10 second. Well, it seems we got a new record. Anyways, it says on your status that you're a hermaphrodite. What does that mean? I see. Cough, changing race often means a lot of new instincts. Tell us how about them and we will help you see them through. Ah yes, well I don't think I feel comfortable in a city when I try to think of a place to live. I think about forests and caves. I think there are also hunting instinct, but I can't really tell. Well, that's already more than enough. Werewolves seem like a pretty straightforward race anyway. Let us start by giving you my phone number and your license. We will find you a forest where you will be able to live and hunt. Also take this card. What is it? A special type of credit card. You can use it to buy all you think will be necessary to live in the wood. Also, do you think you will need electricity? Yeah, and some internet, but is it really alright for you to do all that for one person? Well, it's not really for one person, it's for a new race. There is also the will of the admins behind it. So don't worry, we will provide you with a good environment. We will call you when it's ready, but for now please bear with the city life. No problem. Have a good day. You too. Once out of the building, I directly rushed to the nearest clothing store. Once there, I used my newly made ID to clear myself of suspicion and started browsing. The first thing that caught my eye was some jean shorts and some tight tank top. It is not something I would have ever worn before, but I can't help but think they are perfect. I go to the changing room to dress myself, but then realize that I hadn't brought underwear. But it also seems that my instinct is against underwear. Weird. The tank top only covers my boobs, and I didn't even properly button my shorts, but for the new me, it seems perfect. I pay using the black card and leave for an exterior activities store, where I buy a tent, sleeping bag, campfire starter, gas burner, etc. I then go home and wait for a call from Richard. I use that time to contact my family. We aren't close, but they have the right to know. After 2 days of waiting, I was getting unsettled. I definitely have a hunting instinct, and right now they want to be put to use. But that's when I finally got the call I was waiting for. Hello miss, we've found a forest and a cave for you. It took longer to prepare than expected, but can you come to the branch where we met? I will send a helicopter to bring you to your new forest. Ah yes. Click. I took all my belongings and valuables and left for the Hunter Association. When I arrived, they directly brought me to the top of the building where a helicopter was waiting. I got in and it took off. Where are we going? To the Mendocino National Forest, since it's close to the cities and has a wide variety of monsters. We thought it would make a good hunting ground, but be careful because there are reports of epic monsters deep inside, so stick to the periphery and you should be fine. You should thank Admin Van, because without its intervention, the government would never have agreed to give you the forest. Wait, the whole forest is mine. Not just it is also independent of the US, you quite literally have a country. So you're free to make laws, and you can choose what to do with intruder. Wait, so you're saying that I've acquired a country free from the US, and where the government can say nothing if I just kill someone? Well, you'll still be affiliated with the Hunter Association and be considered a US citizen, but yes. You need to realize that you are effectively starting a new race. All the other race changes have had similar benefits, and some already expanded to triple digit. I see. Anyway, we are here. We landed in a clearing on the side of a hill. Richard led me to a cave 2 kilometers away. This is the cave we prepared for you. We have installed a magical generator with a year's worth of fuel in the back. We've put a lighting system in place, and here is the switch. Here is the fridge, and here is your bedroom. Of course, you're free to change it, it's yours after all. The cave was spacious with 2 paths at the end. One led to a kitchen with a fridge and a freezer, a place to start a fire with a ventilation system, a washing machine, and a computer setup. At the far back of the room was a door leading to a bathroom with a shower, a huge bath, a sink, and a toilet. The room was also where the magical water generator was kept. There also was a generator in the corner. The other chamber was a spacious room filled with pillows and bedding. I mean, there are no beds, just an entire room full of pillows with sheets thrown in there. The floor also has been covered with memory foam. It's so big that 100 people could easily sleep here. And from what my mission is, it will surely happen. We also put some monster warding and defense barriers, so you don't have to worry about monster while you sleep. Yes, thank you, it's already a whole lot. Don't worry about it, and here is something Admin Van wanted us to give you. He passes me a gold card and a purple card. Skill card. Name, Gale Favor. Rank, Epic. Description, let the user control the wind. Passive effect, boost the effectiveness of speed by 10%. Cost, 5 MP/SEC. Skill card. Name, Pack Leader. Rank, Legendary. Description, let the user form a system-assisted pack. Effect, every member of the pack weaker than the user will be loyal, plus 10% growth speed for the children of the pack. Let the user communicate with the member of the pack and monitor them from everywhere. Gain 1/4 of the weakest stat of every pack members. These are really good skills, especially for you, anyway. Do you have any demands or anything you need? No, I think it's enough, thank Mr. Gray. No worries, call me if you need anything. I will. And just like that, my new life in the wild began. The first thing I did after exiting the cave was trying Gale's favor. I activate it and the wind starts to conglomerate around me. I try to attack a tree with it, but all that it does is move the branches. Well, it is still level 1 after all. I didn't have a pack yet, so I decided to go and try hunting for the first time. I was never the combative type of person, but now fighting sounds amazing. After 30 minutes of walking, I found my first prey. Goblin. Race, monster. Sex, male. Rank, common. HP, 50 of 50. The weakest aggressive monster to exist. My heart started to beat faster and my tail was wagging. Why am I so excited? I crouched in the bush, but made some sound and the goblin started coming in my direction. I instinctively knew what to do. I waited, and once it was 2 meters away, I jumped out of the bush and bite his neck. You have dealt a critical attack. Goblin has received 42 HP. The goblin had still 8 horsepower left and used his claw to attack my back. You have suffered a scratch. HP 3. But it did practically nothing, so I redouble my bite to finish him. You have killed a goblin. EXP plus 5. Nice, so I only need to kill one more to level up. The number of EXP required to level starts at 10 and jumps by 10 at every level, and every 10 levels the number double. So for 10 to 20, it augments by 20 every level, 20 to 30 will be 40, etc. You have acquired the job Fawn Hunter. And I got my first job. Status. Name, Natasha Smith. Race, werewolf. Sex, hermaphrodite. Offensive job, Fawn Hunter. Artisan job, none. Level, 1. EXP required to level up, 5/10 EXP. Job, Fawn Hunter. A hunter that uses its teeth to attack. Well, that was to be expected. The first job changes a lot and is generally really simple. Well, anyway, let us find another one. Level up. After another 10 minutes, I found another one. I dealt with him as easily as the first one and got my first level. Every stats +1. Choose between strength and endurance for your job bonus point. I choose strength. Strength +1. +5 free points. Status. Name, Natasha Smith. Level, 2. Strength, 12. Agility, 11. Endurance, 11. Vitality, 11. Intelligence, 11. Wisdom, 11. Free points, 5. I'm pretty sure that I will be a close combat specialist, so let us just that. Strength +2, agility +1, endurance +1, vitality +1. Good. Now, should I continue hunting, or should go back and train Gale Favor? Well, it's already the evening, so I think training is better. Heck, I could even gain a job that will make the skill go stronger, and then I could obtain a close combat magic type job. Those are always hard to grow but pretty powerful. Anyways, no reason to rush. I'm not being chased or anything. Let us just go home, eat, and use Gale's favor until I run out of MP. I have 165 MP, and I gain 1.1 MP per min, so I take 2.5 hours to reg into full. It cost 5 MP/SEC, so I can only use it for 33 seconds, that's really not a lot. I guess it will go down in price with each level up. For now, let us go home and just use it whenever I can. During the trip back, I realized that the skill gain 1 EXP every 10 seconds of utilization. Since it works like level, I need 10 EXP to level it to level to 2. And since I gain 3 EXP by full mana bar, it will take me at least another 5 hours to level it up. Well, I'll just have to practice before and after going to bed, and it should be good. After eating some raw meat, I discovered it tasted better raw than cooked. During the wait for the call, I got to the bedroom and lay there. I was thinking about my mother. When my father died, she stopped loving me. She never hurt me and always made sure I had things to eat and a roof, but other than that she didn't talk to me when I called her to tell her I was no longer human. The only thing she said was, "So you don't need money anymore?" Strangely, I didn't hurt. I already didn't feel like we were mother and daughter, but now, she feels like a total stranger, and I now only think of her as a human. I guess I don't feel human anymore. When I think back to a lot of things humans do and the habits I had, I just feel stupid. I mean, raw meat tastes so good, and why bother with hiding their asset? It's so much better to reveal as much as possible. HMPF, yeah, being a werewolf is better, but why is it called werewolf? It's not like there was a full moon when I awaken. Maybe I'll get a second transformation? That'll be nice. Would I choose to become human if I get the chance? No, I'm a werewolf. Acceptance complete. Ah yes, there was that as well. Title acquired, the first werewolf. Skill acquired, progenitor werewolf body. Skill acquired, progenitor werewolf weapons. Skill acquired, progenitor werewolf scent. Skill acquired, progenitor werewolf libido. A note from Stollard. So yeah, I changed the alpha werewolf title and skill of the last chapter to the first werewolf title and the progenitor for the skills. I found the name more worthy of quite literally the forefather of an entire race. Also warning, this is the first chapter with clear sexual content. I plan to make sex an important part of the story. I won't focus solely on that, and I plan to make it an adventure but with a good deal of sex in between, so yeah, thanks for reading. I'm now an alpha apparently. And I got a lot of skills too, but let us start with the title. Title: The First Werewolf. Description: granted to the progenitor of the werewolf. Effect 1, grants the progenitor werewolf set of skills. Effect 2, make the member of the pack revere the user. Effect 3, let the user stop aging as long as her tribe exists. Wow. So as long as one of my descendant live I1th? Nice. Also, that second effect will go very well with the pack leader skill I got. Now what about the skills? Skill: progenitor body. Rank: legendary. Description: gives the user a stronger body. Effect 1, strength and endurance, +1 per level up. Effect 2, reduce the damage taken by 1%. A damage reduction skill and an attribute boost in one skill. That's super good. And it even gave the point for my first level up. Skill: progenitor weapon. Rank: epic. Description: greatly reinforce the natural weapons of a werewolf. Effect: gives a rating of 100 attacks to the claw and fangs of the user. Oh, that will be useful. A 100 attack point is average for a rare weapon, but I can level up the skill so it will surely be much more than that at max level. Skill: progenitor scent. Rank: rare. Description: give the user a unique, versatile, and strong scent. Effect: make the user naturally emanate a strong scent laced with pheromones that vary along with the user's intention and emotion. Air. Okay, well I can think of a situation where that could help, but still. At least it's better than the last one, I mean, really? Skill: progenitor libido. Rank: epic. Description: give the user a sex drive and sexual prowess worthy of the first werewolf. Effect 1, enhance endurance when mating. Effect 2, greatly augment the rate of production, the quality, and the quantity of cum. Effect 3, enhance fertility. Effect 4, give a sensitivity raising and very light addictive effect to the cum and other bodily fluids. Well, that explains why the shorts feel tighter, my balls must have grown. Also, now that I think of it, it's the first time that I feel horny since I changed race. Maybe I couldn't T because I didn't T past the acceptance phase? That must be it. Now that I think of it. GRMPF. Pant pant. I feel super horny right now. Gasp. Holy shit. I've tried touching it, but it only felt like touching a slightly sensitive body part. But now it feels amazing. I can't stop myself and I start to jack off with all my might. It sends a shiver up my spine and makes me tremble with excitement. I've never felt anything like this, and I love it. It doesn't take long for me to feel something starting to build up. If I come so much each time, then the washing machine surely won't be enough. I'll need to buy a cleaning skill next time I go to town. It seems one time isn't enough, not that I really mind. After masturbation 3 more times, I finally had enough and started cleaning the mess. Or at least isolating it for now. Also, it seems that I do not come a liter per ejaculation, but half a liter. It's still incredible compared to the human male, and it seems like the progenitor libido skill is pretty powerful. It probably will make me some sort of sex goddess able to have sex for days on end while coming liters. Which, to be honest, sound awesome. Also, masturbating 3 times gave me 8 EXP points in the skill, so 1 more time and it would level up, and it got hard again. Oh well, let's level up my first skill. Skill level increased. Progenitor libido is now level 2. I don't feel any change, but that's pretty normal. Skills can go up to level 100, so yeah, though for a skill with so many effects I wonder what effect it could possibly gain at level 25. Generally, skill starts with 1 or 2 effects and gains 4 other effects, each 25 levels, always stronger than the other, but this one started with 4. It's probably why it's an epic skill when it does not provide an attack effect. While pondering, I gently drifted off to sleep in the sea of pillows that has become my room. A note from Stollard. For those wondering, I'm currently planning to do more or less 1 chapter a day. Also, I'll try to progressively lengthen them to an average of 1/500 word. A note from Stollard. I've added bathroom description and a magical water generator to the description of the cave in Chapter 4. Kind of forgot about water. The first thing I did after waking up was to level up Gale's favor. Skill level increased. Gale's favor is now level 2. After preparing myself for the day and waiting for my MP to recharge, I tried to see what changed in the skill. So it still costs 5 MP/SEC, but now, the small breeze has become a strong breeze. The high MP consumption is a problem, but from what I could see on the net, this kind of high MP power always gets their MP usage drastically reduced with level up, but apparently, that's because it's replaced by a new effect with the same level of high cost. But it could still be used for cooling down, also maybe help sneak closer to smell-sensitive monster by pushing my odor in a different direction. I left the cave to start the hunt of the day. After an hour of hunting, I managed to hunt 4 goblins that with my new skill I could easily one-shot, not even a challenge, but it was enough to level up. Also, I decided to switch to endurance for my job bonus stat. Status. Name, Natasha Smith. Level, 3. EXP needed for level up, 0/30. HP, 230/230 plus 1.4 HP per minute. MP, 78/205 plus 1.3 MP per minute. Strength, 17, plus 2. Agility, 14, plus 2. Endurance, 16, plus 3. Vitality, 14, plus 2. Intelligence, 14, plus 3. Wisdom, 13, plus 2. Free point, 0. Attack power, 48. Magic attack power, 41. Speed, 45. Defense, 46. My HP was full and my MP was still recharging from my last wind power training session. I decided to go a little deeper into the forest. It didn't seem like there was anything more powerful than goblin in these parts, and I can't really grow stronger without a minimum of challenge. After another hour of walking and 3 goblins killed, I found another monster. Oak Treant. Race, monster. Sex, none. Rank, common. HP, 72 of 72. It's still a 1-star monster, but it should give more EXP than a goblin. Also, I think it's best to try using my claws this time. I don't really want to eat wood. The goblin doesn't taste great, but at least they're juicy. The Treant was currently just standing there, probably bathing in the sun. I was probably already way stronger than it, so I decided against an ambush. Also, I wanted to let him hit me since I'm pretty sure that it is with taking damage that I will gain EXP for my progenitor body skill since it has damage reduction in the effect. I haven't really found how to level up the scent skill, but I surmised that I needed to affect someone with my scent, and when I tried with the goblin I think the effect was too small for its dumb brain to register. As for the weapon and libido skills, these two have already leveled up to level 2, for a weapon I got a +5 attack point. Once I got close enough, the Treant sprang to life and shot 2 vines toward me at great speed. I never imagined that it will be able to attack so fast and I couldn't block, but... You have been hit by a vine. HP -1. It seems that it has great speed but low power, and with my defense and skill it made the minimum amount of damage. The only way to get no amount of damage from a blow is to block it with something that isn't your body. However high your defense is, you will always take at least 1 point of damage by an attack. After a few more hits I quickly close the distance and kill it. You have killed a Treant. EXP +7. Well, 7 is more than 5. But it seems like a 1-star monster just 1 cut it. Maybe I'll go get tested tomorrow to be able to know up to what I'm able to fight. I should also buy a Pokédex, or by official terms, the monster recognition device. While I know most 1- and 2-star monsters, it probably 1 be enough. It's quite expensive, but I don't really need money right now, and I will be able to sell monster core and hide once I start fighting monsters above 1 star. I was sure that they would give me 1 if they were to give me a forest, but I guess they thought I was going to buy 1 with the black card. That I had to give back, by the way. After having lunch and a quick break, I started hunting in earnest while trying to map the place in my head, which was way easier than I thought it would since I had a new instinct for forest life now. Not that I ever was directionally challenged. Also, a really good sense of smell helps a lot. After killing 2 oak treant, 2 pine treant, and 4 goblins, I reached level 5 and got a new job. Status. Name, Natasha Smith. Offensive job, Beastly Hunter. Level, 5. EXP needed for level up, 0/50. HP, 310/310 plus 1.8 HP per minute. MP, 270/270 plus 1.8 MP per minute. Strength, 22, plus 5. Agility, 18, plus 4. Endurance, 22, plus 6. Vitality, 18, plus 4. Intelligence, 18, plus 4. Wisdom, 18, plus 5. Free point, 0. Job, Beastly Hunter. Description, a hunter that fights like a beast. Bonus stat, strength or agility. Acquisition reward, barehanded combat proficiency. And I even got my first proficiency. Proficiency, barehanded combat. Level, 10%. Description, the art of fighting using only the body. Currently have a related job, growth rate x3. The related job bonus also applies to my progenitor weapons skill, so that's nice. The difference between proficiency and skill is that skills have varied effects that could be anything and proficiency gives insight and pointers in a domain. Like skills, they will gain effect every 25 levels. It can be a lot of things like making your body more flexible to add various effects to your attack or crafts. Also, the method of level up is not exactly the same. For skills you just use them, but for proficiency, training, and comprehension are important. Sure, you can just keep on using it as a skill, but those people stagnate around level 25, and can't go past level 50. It currently was 3 in the afternoon, and since it would take around 1 hour to reach home, I choose to start walking back while hunting everything I cross paths with. After 30 minutes of walking, I found a goblin. I quickly dispatched him, but after doing, I saw some eyes in the bush. My senses were tingling and my fur was on end. It was a red coyote-like beast as tall as me that looked way stronger than the goblin, and it seemed I just ate its prey and it wasn't he happy. Mad coyote. Race, beast. Sex, male. Rank, rare. HP, 880/880. Beasts were earth animals that evolved with the ambient mana. But this one wasn't strong enough to be 50 years old, so it was surely a descendant of the originals. A mad coyote was at the bottom rank of rare, and this one wasn't fully matured since 1-star rare monster had an average of 1000 HP. I suddenly regret putting so many points in intelligence and wisdom to try and make Gale's favor level up faster. I couldn't run since it surely has greater agility, plus it ran on all 4. My only advantage here is my intelligence and the attack power of my weapons skill. Also, since it's still young and a mad beast, it should be pretty predictable. While I wasn't confident that I could defeat it, I try my hardest to show the opposite. Who knows, maybe it will flee if it sees I'm not scared of it since it's young. The beast eyed me cautiously but then started sniffing the air and seemed to go truly mad and rushed at me in a straight line. While he was fast, he was coming from too far away and I easily sidestepped him and clawed at him from the side. You strikes a weak blow. Enemy HP -2. Well shit, it seems that even with my skill its defense is too high to do real damage without hitting a weak spot. The coyote barely even registers the blow and stops a few meters away, then turnarounds and does the same things. This time he is closer and he manages to bite my shoulder, and he pins me to the ground. You have suffered a strong bite. HP -125. You have suffered a strong bite. HP -155. I snapped out of it and pierced his eye with my claw and bite down on its neck. That causes him to let me go. You have struck a weak spot. Enemy HP -128. You have dealt a critical blow. Enemy HP minus 170. While he howls in pain, I push him to the ground and start mercilessly clawing at both its eye and trying to rip his throat apart. Enemy HP minus 120. Enemy HP minus 110. Enemy HP minus 45. Enemy HP minus 80. Enemy HP minus 60. After getting 3 hits to its eye, crippling both of them, and biting at him, he manages to shake me off, dealing me 12 damage in the process, so that leaves me with only 18 horsepower left. I should flee, but I really don't want to flee from a fight. But that's when I see it starting to walk backward while sniffing the air as much as possible. Yeah, he cannot see anymore, so I just have to use Gale Favor to redirection my odor, and I can probably easily finish him. After producing a wind that pushed behind me, I started silence approaching him, and when I'm 2 meters away he seemed to sense me and try to flee but headbutt into a tree. I use the chance to lunge at his throat and bite into the already bleeding wound while. Enemy HP minus 97. He tries to attack me but fails to put any force in the blow and only deal 8 damage. I then pull with all my energy and manage to rip his throat. Enemy HP minus 75. You have killed a mad coyote. EXP plus 188. Level up. Level up. Level up. Oof. I did it, I kill my first rare beast. Note to self, not try to fight a monster with triple my HP. I barely made it out alive with only 10 HP left. I decided to leave the carcass here. While it was surely valuable, I was way too exhausted and weary to drag it home, so I left it here and rushed home while ignoring any monster I came across. Once home, I shed my clothes in the bin and took a shower. Then, I collapsed into my room. It was still early, but I was dead tired, so I let myself drift to sleep. Since I got to sleep so early, I woke up in the middle of the night. I gained 3 levels after the fight, so I decided to put my stat point. Status. Name, Natasha Smith. Offensive job, Beastly Hunter. Level, 8. EXP needed for level up, 1380s. HP, 385/385 plus 2.1 HP per minute. MP, 315/315 plus 2.1 MP per minute. Strength, 28, plus 6. Agility, 21, plus 3. Endurance, 28, plus 6. Vitality, 21, plus 3. Intelligence, 21, plus 3. Wisdom, 21, plus 3. Free point, 15. You have 3 points to distribute in strength or agility. After yesterday, I decided against putting any more points towards mana until I had a proper use out of it. I put the 3 job points towards agility, then put 5 in strength, 2 in agility, 4 in endurance, and 4 in vitality, boosting my HP by 60. Also, my progenitor weapon skill and the progenitor body both became level 3. I gained a whole 2 levels of express for a skill required to get it. I guess I did come close to death there, yet I'm not scared or traumatized. After using Gale Favor for a minute, I got up and ate some meat, then saw that I had eaten most of the meat. I guess I really need to go to town. I have yet to find suitable meat to hunt. Now that I think about it, how am I supposed to go back to San Francisco? I've come here in a helicopter and it's way too far to walk all the way. I need to call Richards. I go to grab my phone but stop when seeing that it was still 2 a.m. I instead decided to go train while I wait. I got outside and that's when I remarked that I had some kind of weak night vision. I couldn't see like it was day, but it was already so much clearer than when I was human. Before training, I had to take a leak. I generally use the bathroom, but I already was outside and I always had a nagging feeling when using a toilet. After peeing all over the place and the feeling disappear, I deduced that it was my marking instinct. I started training my proficiency. They generally give a training method adequate to the level you are at, but at level 1, it isn't anything more than flailing around, but after 45 minutes I got my first level up and my flailing got more direction added to it. I could level up faster with a master or a training partner, but all I had right now was a tree. After another hour and a half, I gained another level, but that's when I stop. I was planning on continuing until the sun was up, but I was interrupted by my instincts. Something is wrong, but I don't know what. After sniffing the air, I smelled a few unfamiliar scents. Well, if I hadn't pissed all over the place to mark it, I would never be able to remark that. I don't have enough smell expertise to know what is approaching. All I can say is there is more than one, and it's coming my way. I decide to go up a tree halfway between them and the cave. If they're monsters, then the warding array will activate and will go back. If they are too powerful to have an effect, then I will run, but if they are human. I've heard that changed race awakener are very prized and people try to gain favor with them and make them come to their country. I've also heard of tentatives of kidnapping, but I haven't got any demands or never even spoke with a representative of another country. I can't imagine a country going directly to kidnapping without trying to negotiate. Those kinds of countries have been mostly assimilated, forcefully, with the help of the admin. After 5 minutes of slow movements, the intruders come into sight and sure enough, it was a group of 5 humans. I immediately crossed the enemy country's possibility the moment I saw them. These guys were in no way, shape or form professional and were comprised of 3 men and 2 women. Of the 3 men, one looked young and couldn't be more than 18. He had plain clothes and had a feminine build. It seems he was big into sports or musculature when looking at his muscle. He probably was trying to compensate for his effeminate physique and it definitely made him look very good. Another one was tall and in heavy armor and clearly was a tank or something similar. He had a scar on his face, but from where I stood it seemed fake. The last one was a scrawny rogue-looking guy, and he was currently the one leading the other. At the end of the group were 2 women, one bound by rope and handcuffs and the other holding the end of the rope to make sure she followed. They were both around the same age as the guy in plain clothes. The one bound had short black hair and looked like the nerdy type, but I couldn't determine her feature because of the bruise and the broken glasses on her face. She had been half stripped so I could clearly see her body, which was, for lack of a better word, gorgeous. The other one had long brown hair, fashioned into a singular long ponytail. She clearly also was into sports and was wearing a cut-up front sports top with jackets and leggings, letting her belly show with an outline of abs. When compared to the other girl, she had a beautiful face but was clearly losing when looking at her body, not that she was flat but compared to the huge breast and butt of the other one. It seems my sexual preference has changed. I've never looked in so many details at another woman's body before, but then again, I have a dick now. After another couple of minutes, the tank-looking guy started talking. I was surprised that I could hear them from so far. It seems that my sense of hearing also improved. "Hey Roy, is it far?" The scrawny guy, Roy, apparently responded. "No, I think we'll be there in another 10 minutes or so." And he was right. If they continue walking in this direction, they would reach my cave. Still, they really are walking slowly. The young guy said. "Why did we have to go to a forest 3h from the city?" Roy responded. "Because you said you wanted a place where nobody would come looking. This place recently has been given to a new race and is considered not wildest territory, so nobody will bother you here. And don't forget, after that, we owe nothing to you or your brother, so only contact us if you have the intention to pay us." Yeah, as long as what you said is true." Silence. The ponytail woman said. "I understand that it's not wildest territory and the government can't bother us, but what about the new race living here? Won't they attack us if they know we're here?" Roy responded. "You really don't follow the news? The race just started, so there is only one member currently. Also there is no shot that it can monitor the whole forest by itself. Even if it did find us, Greg and I are level 23 and 27 respectively. Sure, we're not strong enough to go hunt monsters for a living, but against civilians, or in that case, newly awakened people, it's more than enough. Now shut up, we're here." While they were talking, they arrived close enough to see the cavern. I descended from the tree and stayed at ambush distance behind them while trying to decipher their intention, and it seemed that the young boy and the ponytail woman had hired these 2 guys to lead them somewhere safe from the law and possibly help them with doing whatever they planned to do to that poor woman. Now, while I can't say that I feel the same way about humans as before, I still want to let a crime happen in my territory. HMPF, yeah, there is no way I let some humans intrude on my territories. Wait, no, it's to save that young woman and stop some criminal. Oh, why bother to argue with me, let us just say it's for both. The Greg guy is apparently level 23, it would definitely be considered low and wouldn't even be a rare rank adventure, but its tank build mean it surely focuses on endurance, vitality, and strength, so he has to have more HP than the Mad Coyote. The other one, Roy, is a rogue type, so principally strength and agility, so he should be fast, but low on HP. I decided to ambush the rogue first. There is no shot I can one-shot a tank, so going for the easiest to kill is better to avoid a 2 versus 1 situation. After carefully assessing the situation, I circle them and hide on the edge of the clearing in front of my home. When Roy, who was leading the group, passed me, I jump with all my might and bite his neck while clawing at his torso. You have dealt a sneak attack. You have killed your enemy in a single sneak attack. Proficiency gained, assassination. EXP plus 197. Level up. Level up. I immediately put my free point into strength and endurance and my 2 job points into agility and charge at the shocked tank, lashing out at the only unprotected place of his body, his face. Enemy HP minus 52. I then use my finger to gouge his eye out. You have dealt a critical blow. Enemy HP minus 231. Iowa, my eyes, my eyes. I distance myself and look at the young trio. The boy seems to be paralyzed in fear, the ponytail has fallen to the ground and pissed herself, and the bound one is trying to flee but can't escape because of her restraint. Yells the now blind Greg. He then pulls out an axe and starts hacking at random before him, even cutting close to chopping the head of the boys, who dodge with a shriek and a yell of "It's me, it's me." He then takes a big swing and imbues his axe halfway into a tree. I use the opportunity to climb on its back and choke him from behind with all my strength. He has too high of defense for me to effectively damage him with regular's attack, and all his vitals are protected by armor. He let go of his axe and start trying to hit me, but he can't hit a target on its back with a lot of strength, so I only suffer minor injuries. After his face started turning blue, he started to try and ram me against a tree, but without his vision he missed. For the last attempt of freeing himself of my choke, he slams his back on the ground, causing half of my HP to disappear, but I hold on and he finally starts to lose strength. After a couple of minutes of me not letting go of fear he wasn't dead, I finally let go and slide out of under his body, gasping for air and my body hurt all over. The fight wasn't as close as with the coyote, but if it wasn't for the successful sneak attack, I would be died for sure. Seriously, what else with all these near-death experiences? And why am I enjoying them? But before starting to question my newly acquired desire for a fight to the death, I need to figure out what to do with the other 3, who apparently all fainted during the fight. First thing first, I grab all 3 of them to my room for them to lay while they wake up. Then I go take a quick shower to wash off the blood. After that I go to my kitchen. Well, it's not that much of a kitchen. I got a sink, a fridge, and some counter and dishes, but no oven or thing like that. All I got to cook is a fire pit. Well, that's to be expected when they took 2 days to finish the place. When I make some real money, I'll remodel the place. I'll have a really big kitchen, I'll hide the generator, have an extra room where I'll put a living room in it, and also I'll put a door for my bedroom. Anyways, back to my guest. They're the first people I receive in my new home, so I guess I'll try to cook something for them and escort them to town. It's perfect since I wanted to go to the city, so I'll just have to hitch a ride. After looking around the kitchen, I didn't have a lot of things to cook with. All I got is a fire pit tool, raw meat, and some basic spice, salt, pepper, basil, and paprika. I start a fire, then plaster some pork with all the spices I have. Once the fire is up and running, I put a barbecue grill on top of it and start cooking. After half an hour, I died down the fire to let the pork stay hot while I go check on my guest. Halfway to my room, I hear them arguing. "It's your fault, you're the one who insisted that we dispose of that slut." "Oh, shut up, you were as eager as me to bring her here, so don't put the blame on me." "Yeah, you're right, my love, let us just say it's all her fault." And you, if we get out of here alive you are dead. Yeah, and don't expect a merciful death. Well, I plan to only bring them back, but it seems they want to kill that poor girl, that one do. I'll need to find a way to teach them a lesson. For now, let us just talk to them and try to see the full picture. I enter the room and saw the two sporty one holding each other while looking at the nerdy one with disgusted eyes. The third one is curled in a ball some distance away from them, and I even saw a few more bruises than when I brought her to my room. They didn't seem to see me coming, so I started to talk. Hello you three. The lovers shriek and retreated, the other one looks up and sits straight. Come with me, I made some food. The ponytail girl said. Why should we trust a monster, aren't we the food? I responded. Simply because I'm not a monster and this is my territory, didn't your escort tell you to who this forest belonged? The sitting one said. So you're the new race? Yep, so come eat before it's cold. After a few seconds, she sat up and followed me, the other two saw this, and started to carefully follow. Well, take a sit wherever you like, I don't have a table yet. After cutting the meat and bringing a plate to each of them and sat between the lovers and the victim. So, can you all tell me your name? Mine is Natasha Smith. The short hair said. I'm Claire Gray. The guy said in turn. I'm Ren Phoenix, the little brother of the guild master of the Phoenix Guild, so don't you try anything or my brother will end you. Well, it seems that killing him is off. The Phoenix Guild is not the strongest, but it's still in the top 10. The last one introduced herself. And I'm Julia Blade, daughter of the guildmaster of the Blade Guild. Okay, and does your super important family know you are here? Julia grumbled. And, no. I continued. That's what I thought, but now please tell me why do you want to kill that girl? Ren said. Well, I don't see where you would get the idea we want. To kill her. Julia nodded shakily in agreement. Don't try to play dumb, I heard you talking about how you wanted to dispose of her here, also here, U's law doesn't apply. Only I get to decide the law here, so even if I were to do anything to you, legally your family couldn't do shit. You wouldn't dare. You really think so? Heck no, I wouldn't dare. These kinds of powerful guilds don't give a shit about the law, but there is no need for you to know that. If you want to respond, I'll just ask the person concerned. Claire, who was silently eating while listening, said. Well, even if you ask me, I don't really know. They just started bullying me at school one day and I was just ignoring it at first, but after a while, it started to accentuate and now they seem to hate me so much they want to kill me and they never said why. I look at them with a shook and questioning look. So you just started to bully her for no reason and until you decided to kill her? Julia responded. That's why you started bullying me. Well, rejoice, my crush on Ren has long faded away. I cut in. But still, to try to kill someone for such a petty reason. Julia continued. Ren contributed. Yeah, there's no way we'll let someone be better than us, and especially not a dirty Chinese. I look at Claire. You are Chinese? I'm half Korean. Ren continued. It's not the first one I've made disappear, and I will not let these half-breed bananas soil our land. Okay. So the reason for one is jealousy, and the other is racism. I really can't let them go back with Claire. I need to teach them a lesson, something that will mark them so much that they won't attack Claire ever again. But what? While thinking about what to do, my gaze wandered to Julia, to her tight top that's accentuating her perky breast and her wide hips. Then I felt my dick straining against my pants. Well, it is my territory, and with their pride, there is no way they will admit to having been raped by another race. Right? My reasonable mind was rapidly being overpowered by the horny one. Okay, well, if you have finished eating, let us go back to the other room. Why? Because I said so. They follow me to the other room. Okay, now remove your clothes. Claire started removing the ripped clothes that she was wearing. Julia and Ren exclaimed together. What? I said to remove your clothes. Don't make me repeat another time, at least one of you know how to listen. After Claire was fully naked and I could see her bountiful cleavage and her wide hips that made my dick harden even more, I showed my claw to the other two that still didn't get started. After they were all nudes, I told them. Okay, now you, Ren, lie there, and you Julia make him hard, as his lover you should be able to write? Why, yes. I then removed my top while saying to Claire. As for you Claire, you can come to remove my pants if you want, but I won't force you to participate, you've suffered enough. But contrary to what I expected, she started to move toward me, and knelt. After intensely looking at my bulge, she took off my shorts to reveal my hard and musky 16-inch dog dick. She then started to sniff at the scent and I could clearly see the need and horniness in her eyes. I didn't expect her to be such a slut, but I then remembered that I had a skill that helped me influence others with my smell, and it seems it was very effective on this girl right now. Since she clearly wanted it, I only said, "Go ahead." I then looked at the now masturbating Julia and a shocked Ren and said, "It's your turn now. Does he has premature ejaculation or what?" And she shakingly nodded. I then burst into laughter. Ha 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 ha, so on top of having a tiny dick, you have premature ejaculation? Well, doesn't matter, because I'm not satisfied, so you better get hard again. After 2 more quick rounds of unsatisfying sex, he couldn't get up anymore and nearly fainted. What a wuss. Since your boyfriend couldn't satisfy me, don't you think you should help? Julia, who was distractedly masturbating and was fixing my dick, snapped out of it and shrieked. Hike, no, don't come closer, I don't want to have sex with a dog. Well, you don't really get to decide, do you? Gasp. Oh shit, that feels good, you're tightening so much. Wait, did you just come? And no pants L like their essay any chance a dog could make me come. Really? Well, I don't really care if you enjoy it or not. I said as I slammed my hip into her. At first I couldn't fit it all in, but after a few merciless thrusts, I could. The more I thrust, the more lost in her wet folds I became. I couldn't get enough and Julia was trying her hardest not to moan, but after a couple minutes she couldn't resist anymore. Ooh shit, gasp, why is it so good moan what happening to me moan I'm coming. While she said that, I felt her inside clamp down on me and made me join her. For the first time I could feel my knot growing and plugging her hole while I come inside. What is that? It's so big. And there is so much cum at feels so good. Me next. Han, gasp yes, that feels so good. I then proceed to come another 5 times. 3 for Claire and another 2 for Julia. At the end of it, they all had fainted, though Ren fainted for a different reason, and I decided to also go to sleep. We started having sex at 6 a.m. and it was now 10 a.m. Since I woke up at 2 a.m. today, I decided to take a nap and try to maybe rectify my sleep schedule. If we don't wake up till late, I'll bring them back to the city today. A note from Stollard. For those who read the info dump chapter, I said that defense negated 0.5 of HP damage, but I decided to up it to 0.75. I woke up 2 hours later. Taking a look around, I saw I was the only one awake, so I decided to go take a shower and eat something. I would make them something, but since all I have is meat and it's technically breakfast for them, I decided it's best if they eat after I take them back. I then look at my status screen and put my point. Level 11. EXP needed for level up, 96 of 120. HP, 580/580, plus 3.2 HP per minute. MP, 360/360, plus 2.4 MP per minute. Strength, 44, plus 11. Agility, 34, plus 8. Endurance, 42, plus 10. Vitality, 32, plus 7. Intelligence, 24, plus 3. Wisdom, 24, plus 3. Free point, 0. I then use all my mana and made Gale's favor go up to level 3, There's surely 1 TB an offensive use out of the skill until around level 10, but it cost me nothing to level it up for the moment. After doing various things for an hour, I decided to wake them up since I wanted to go to the city and come back before night. Ren was the first to fully wake up. Well, I was planning on making you go home, but if you don't shut your mouth, maybe I'll change my mind. You. Yes? TSK. That's what I thought. Now go wake up your girlfriend 'cause we're leaving right now. Are you going with us? Well, yes, but if you want to go take a walk in a monster-infested forest without me, go right ahead. Never mind. After waking up everybody, we started walking towards their car. At first, I was planning on hitching a ride and buying a car in town, but the car had belonged to the two thugs, so I decided to make it my own. After half an hour of walking, we arrive at a small abandoned warehouse on the side of the road. That definitely could be useful, so I think I'll renovate it when I'll have the money. The car inside was a simple 4x4 truck with 4 seats and an open trunk, perfect for my need. We all got in, and I got behind the wheel since I was the only one who knew how to drive. At first, we all sit there in awkward silence, Ren silently seething at what happened, Julia, who kept the same blank look she had ever since she's been awake, and Claire was fidgeting in the passenger seat. Claire clearly wanted to say something, so I decided to ask. So, Claire, do you have something you want to ask? Yes. See, could I mumble. Sorry, what was that? I didn't hear what you said. Could I have your phone number? You want my number? Why? To keep in touch? Even after what happened this morning? Yes. Silently, especially after what happened silently. Well, if you want, but I'm not saying it out loud for these two to hear. So you'll have to wait until we arrives. Can we continue to talk? For sure. After 2 hours of talking with each other, we finally arrived in the city. After putting my phone number into Claire's cell phone, I gave back their cell phone, that I had taken after the fight this night, and dropped them off in the middle of the city. I then made my way to the Hunter Association. Once there, I go to the counter and ask for a rank examination. Certainly, madam, we have a session starting in 5 minutes, so you can go down the corridor on your left and enter the examination waiting room and wait for your name to be called, which is Natasha Smith. Noted. After going into the simple-looking waiting room, I look around while waiting to be called. There were a few people there, but nobody important looking, so I decided to browse my phone. After 5 minutes, I heard my name. It seemed I get to go first. Not that I complain. After going through the door at the other end of the room, I was greeted by a simple office worker in a suit. Hello, Miss Smith, the test will be conducted in 2 parts. The first one will be as simple as touching that stone. It will let us know what is your rank, then we will go to the other room over there and summon a replica of a monster from 1 to 10 stars until you are no longer able to win to determine your star rank. Any question? None. Perfect, now like I said, just put your hand on the stone. I did so, and after a few seconds, it turned white. Okay, so common rank, now follow me into the combat room. Did you already have some experience, or do you want to try them all? I can easily kill a 1-star monster and surely a 2-star monster as well, so can we start at 3? Sure, now go stand in the middle while we launch the machine. I was standing in the middle of a big white room with nothing in it. The employer was going to the other side of a window where the command is at. From what I heard, this room can summon a puppet of any strength under epic. For a higher rank monster, only the main branch can do it, and with a maximum of legendary 1 star. After a minute, runes on the wall lit up and a white beast-like puppet appeared. Training dummy. Race, summon. Sex, none. Rank, common. HP, 200 of 200. The star rank of a monster can generally be told by the amount of HP. While it's not something that hunters need to rely on, it can still be useful. 0 and 1 star average around 50 horsepower, 2 star around a 100, 3 around 200 and like that until rare one who average 1000 horsepower, then they gain 200 horsepower per rank until epic where they after gaining 300 horsepower per rank and so on and so on. I quickly rushed towards it and slash at him, a simple slash of my claw without trying to hit any weak spot and one-shot it. You have killed a training dummy. EXP plus 0. Yeah. Summon monster doesn't give any EXP. Then I hear the employee tell me over a speaker. Since you only took 2 blows to kill it, I'll jump 4-star and go directly to 5, okay? I looked at the windows and made a thumbs up. After another minute, another identical monster appears. Training dummy. HP, 400 of 400. I did like I did last time and simply clawed at him. Dealt minus 172 HP. But this one managed to attack me before I could combo, but I was way faster than him, so I easily sidestep and dealt another 2 blows. You have killed a training dummy. That wouldn't be so easy if it weren't for my 110 attack bonus on my claw and fang. Next will be a 7-star. Do you agree? I nodded, and another dummy with 600 HP this time. This time he was the first to attack, and while I had the advantage in attack, he was faster than me since the average stat of a 7-star is 40 and I have 34 agility. He lunged at me in a straight line, so I sidestepped and simultaneously bite down on its neck and clawed at him. You have dealt minus 163 HP. You have dealt minus 142 HP. I tried to stay latched onto him, but he quickly jumped on his side to crush me, which forced me to let go. You have suffered minus 33 horsepower. After pushing him off me while biting him, I repeated my assault and killed him. Now will be an 8-star, are you alright with it? Again I nodded, and a 700 HP dummy appeared. After an intense brawl, I managed to kill it with 8 hits, but suffered nearly 10, which brought my HP under a 100. Do you want to continue to 9? I shake my head and make my way toward the exit. I may have enough attack power for killing a 9-star, but I do not have enough speed to manage to kill it before it kills me. And I got even less chance, with less than 100 HP left. After making my way back to the counter, I waited while they were making my license. At this moment, a guy in a suit came to talk to me. Natasha Smith? Who's asking? Jerome Duval, a lawyer for the Blade Guild. Can we perhaps move somewhere more private? Well, shit. Sure, just let me get my license first. Yes, for sure. After a couple of minutes, the lady came back with my license. It looked pretty much like a driver's license with stars on the top to show my ranking. I turned to the lawyer. Well, after you. Very well. He leads me to a private waiting room of the association and we sit face to face. He then opened a suitcase and take out a contract. I'm here because of the incident with Miss Julia. I figured. Mr. Blade would like you to never speak of it. In exchange, he will gift you $1 million. Wait, what? He just wants to shut me up? Yes, all the details are in this contract. What? After I raped his daughter, he won't do anything more than make sure I don't tell anyone? Maybe Julia didn't tell him about the raping part, but why? Reputation is what Mr. Blade cares about the most, and if people were to know about Miss Julia's rape, he wouldn't be very happy. I'm sure you can understand. Oh, I see now. It's just that Julia's father is a huge asshole who doesn't care about his daughter. No wonder Julia turned like that. After reading the contract, which was a simple don't speak of it and get money type of contract, I signed it and he gave me a check. I already wasn't planning on talking about it, so why not do the same thing for $1 million? I then quickly used my phone to remotely deposit the money into my account. I then used that money to buy the most expensive Pokédex for $200,000. I then exited the building planning to go grocery shopping, but received a call from Richard. Hi, Mr. Gray. Yes, hi, Miss Smith. I called because I wanted to thank you for saving my daughter from these bastards. Your daughter? Yes, Claire is my daughter. Oh really, what did she say to you exactly? Well, that you saved her from Ren and Julia. Please tell me if you need something, I will arrange it for you. Okay. Well, I do need a secure place to park my newly acquired truck. I was planning to renovate a small warehouse that is on the side of the road. Then consider it done. Thanks again for saving her. No problem. Well, at least Claire didn't tell exactly what happened, but still for Claire to be Richard's daughter. Well, at least she doesn't seem to hate me. Now I just need to prepare for what the Phoenix Guild will throw at me. A note from Stollard. There will probably be another chapter later today since I didn't post yesterday. Before going grocery shopping, I remembered that I still didn't have a table, so I got in my car and drove to the biggest shopping center in the city. I was going to go to the furniture store, but I saw a skill card shop that I decided to check out first. The store was pretty small with rows of tablets with holograms of the cards in stock. They were only common cards because above that and they had only combat effects, so they were more regulated. After browsing a little, I decided on 2 skills to buy. Skill card. Name, wash. Rank, common. Effect, wash an item. Cost, 5 MP per use. It's a simple skill that will be more useful than a washing machine. Skill card. Name, universal language. Rank, common. Effect, make it so you can talk to anyone. This one is a very common skill that a lot of people use, and every hunter high enough has it. The only downside is that it only applies to talk. For letters, there is another one. Since I risk needing to deal with foreign countries soon enough, I decided it was a worthwhile investment. The majority of skill card doesn't have a level since they are utilities, so I don't have to worry about leveling them up. After paying $300,000 for both of them, skill has a very low drop rate, so it's expensive. I finally got to the furniture store and bought a table, 4 chairs, and a variety of kitchen appliances. After that, I go to the grocery store and buy enough supplies for 2 weeks. Since it was already evening, I decided to go and try to eat at a fancy restaurant before going back home. And I got to say that it was disappointing. While my sense of smell, sight, and hearing got better, it seems that my sense of taste got worse since I couldn't really tell the difference between a fancy piece of meat well made and my hastily made pork from this night. Disappointed, I got into my car and drove home. When I was back tired, I realized that I will need to physically transport all my purchases since there wasn't a road leading up to my cavern. So after 3 back and forth trips, I finally had a table and a full fridge. After all that, I was dead tired since I had woken up in the middle of the night, and I only had a 2 hours nap after that. After emptying my MP with Gale's favor, I got into my room and fell asleep. During the next 3 days, I hunted nearly non-stop various monsters that I could find and managed to hit level 15. Status. Name, Natasha Smith. Race, werewolf. Sex, hermaphrodite. Offensive job, beastly hunter. Level, 15. EXP to level up, 13 of 200. HP, 705/705 plus 4.1 point per minute. MP, 510/510 plus 3.0 points per minute. Stats. Strength, 52, plus 8. Agility, 47, plus 13. Endurance, 50, plus 8. Vitality, 41, plus 9. Intelligence, 36, plus 12. Wisdom, 30, plus 6. Attack power, 151, plus 135. Magic attack power, 102. Speed, 146. Defense, 141. Skill list, 8. Legendary Pack Leader, LV.1. Legendary Progenitor S Body, LV.6. Epic Gale S Favor, LV.5. Epic Progenitor S Weapons, LV.7. Epic Progenitor S Libido, LV.5. Rare Progenitor S Scent, LV.3. Common Wash, LV.max. Common Universal Language, LV.max. I was planning to continue hunting all week, then go exchange the body of the monster that I kept since they had values, a few grass trolls, which are the weakest troll and a 6-star monster, some advanced coyotes, which are weaker versions of the mad coyote with a ranking of 4-star, and a rare 0-star rainbow slime, which are inoffensive but really rare and valuable. I also got a skill card, but it was the universal languages skill, which made me rage a little since if I had known I would be waited before buying it. But yesterday night I got a text from Claire saying she wanted to see me, so I decided to cut my hunt short and go see what's that about. Also, when I've gone to take my truck, I saw that the whole place has been renovated and reinforced. Also there was a second truck inside, this one a magical one. While I got inside my new truck, I thought that I should tell Claire to pass my thanks to her father. After dropping all I had to sell and making a nice $77,000, I got to the RDV point. Claire texted me. After arriving there, I saw Claire dress in a white summer robe with a wide-brimmed sun hat. She had new glasses and clearly had makeup on. Since I had only seen her bruised and battered, I realized that Julia had every right to be jealous. In fact, I would be been too if it wasn't for the fact that I wasn't human anymore. Also, I remarked that I became way more self-confident and more prideful since I changed, which I love. Anyway, I made my way toward her and greeted her. "Hi Claire." "Hi Miss Natasha." "You can drop the miss, I'm only 20. Anyway, what did you want to talk about?" "Eh? Well, I didn't want to talk about anything in particular." "Wait. Now that I think about it, she's very well dressed and clearly put the effort into her makeup. We're also at a famous date spot." "Well, I'll be damned, this is a date." I did find her to be very friendly with me, but to invite me on a date? Even after what happened? She did seem to like it a lot. Also, I never dated a girl since I was heterosexual, but now I clearly don't mind, so does that make me bi? No, probably still hetero, since I'm technically both gender at the same time. Anyways, I going off topic, since it is a date, should I just leave? That will surely hurt her if I do that, and it is just one date, why not just go with the flow? Also maybe I could make her the first member of my pack. No worry, so where do you want to go first? I don't know that part of the city very well, so I'll follow your lead. Yes. There is a bowling alley over there. Bowling? For the first date? I don't think she has much experience with setting up a date. Well, bowling isn't a very good idea for hunters since it's hard to control strength. Why don't we just start with taking a walk around town and doing the first thing that seems nice? Yes. We walked for a 30-minute while talking. I found out that she has always been the nerdy type that plays games and reads all day. She also told me that she has been bullied for that when she was younger but had stopped a few years back only to be replaced by Julia and Ren. While it wasn't obvious, her dream was actually to become a hunter. While a lot of people dream about it, not everyone had the aptitude to, which generally was demonstrated by your starting skill, and there is a lot of prevention being done to prevent young people from rashly going to try and fight monsters. Nowadays, around half the population are hunters, and around a third of those hunters only do it on the side. For a young and shy girl to dream of becoming a hunter is unexpected. Also, she is waiting on her awakening like I was at her age. We then found an aquarium and decided to tour it. Since pretty much all Earth species have evolved to accumulate mana, there is not a lot of actual fish around. The majority of the tanks are filled with monsters of common rank, and there is one with a rare one. There are also a lot of holograms of rarer and stronger aquatic species. It's been a while since I had come to an aquarium, so I try to soak up as much knowledge about sea monsters as possible. While we were walking around and talking, Claire seemed to have gathered her courage and grabbed my hand. I look at her with a smile and her face turns red. She tries to let go, but I reaffirm my grip. We continued walking like that and exited the aquariums. While I continued to learn about her, she liked fantasy books. Her favorite game is The Myth of Wanda. She has really good grades. She also told me what her period cycle is. We were stopped by a bunch of guys. "Hey you the monster, come with us quietly, and we won't harm that slut of yours." And it seems they were not there for good reason. "Who are you?" Well, let us just say you need to think twice before attacking someone. Well, since Julia's father clearly didn't take care and Claire seemed to really like me, at least one option. So you're from the Phoenix Guild? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, and if I follow you, what will happen? There is someone that would like to meet you. And I assume that someone is the guild master of the Phoenix Guild? He didn't respond. Very well, I'll follow you, but only after I see that Claire got away safe. If you want to make it difficult, I've got no problem. I turned to Claire. Go ahead and go back home, whisper, and warn your father, whisper. I'll call you after that meeting and we'll continue our date. Claire, who was surprisingly calm, nodded and turned away to leave. After she was far enough and got in a taxi, I started following the group. After a short ride in a white van, I arrived at the back door of a hotel. A monster like you is too eye-catching to pass through the front door. I didn't ask, but thanks for the info, just next time try without being racist. He ignored me and bring me up to the penthouse on the 21st floor. Once inside, I was greeted by a bunch of guards and a guy sat on the couch in the middle of the room. Seriously, what's up with this guild and the organized cartel style? The guy was Damien Phoenix. He had short blonde hair with a scar on his left eyebrow. Damien had an average face, but he was a level 190 hunter and surely had really strong equipment. But right now he was wearing a fiery red suit with a white shirt and golden necktie with equally red pants with gold buttons. So you're Natasha Smith, the newly awakened werewolf slut that raped my precious little brother and his girlfriend. Yeah. You don't even try to deny it. You know, it's not because the Blade Guild is doing nothing that we want. Maybe, but you can't kill me or do much other than pressure me, since what happened was inside my territory. It is not a crime. And also, as a new species, the government will pretty surely be on my side. Yes, you are right, but that's only if they come to know about what's to happen. Which they probably do, since your subordinate here wasn't very tight lips before the daughter of the head of the new Race Integration Bureau of the city. He glared at the thugs that brought me here, which make him pee his pants. He then turned to me with obvious anger. Okay, you are right, we can't do anything to you. For now. Don't ever come close to my brother or his girlfriend ever again, or I'll personally make sure you won't see another day. Well, thank you for the warning, I'll be sure to make preparations. I then turn and leave. Outside the penthouse, I hear Damien vent his anger on the furniture. I then rode the elevator down with a smirk. Julia's POV. It's been 4 days since I got raped by that wolf. I tried telling my dad, but all he told me was to never tell anyone to not damage his reputation. It's always been like that with him, always about his reputation and never about me, or Mom. Ren promised me that his brother would take care of it, but I have little hope that someone like Damien would be able to take care of a progenitor. That guy has nothing for him except being strong, and it's already a miracle that he is able to lead a top 10 guild. Though from what Ren told me, it's mostly because the vice master is actually competent. If it wasn't for Ren, I would have never meddled with someone like him, but at least he took all the bad genes for Ren. Ren would be perfect in every way if it wasn't for its severe racism, and I don't think I would actually tried to kill someone for some petty jealousy if it wasn't for Ren. The more I thought about it, the more I felt bad for that girl. Yeah, she is more beautiful than me and I hate her, but for someone like me to bully someone and even try to kill her? That event seemed to clear my mind and allow me to think back about my wrongdoings. I will need to restrain Ren racism and stop him from doing something like that. My God, what was I thinking? I can't believe Ren clouded so much of my judgment. Anyway, Ren asked me on a date today, so I put on a dress and makeup and go to meet him at a restaurant. Hi babe. Hi Ren. Listen, my brother met the slut, but the new race department of the U.N knew of the meeting, so he couldn't do much, but he promised me that he will take care of her and that Asian trash. You know, they actually found them on a date together. I mean, what sort of slut you need to love a dog, why no? Normally I only listen to him go on and pretty much agree with everything he said, but the more he talks the stranger I feel. You know Ren, I don't think we should actually kill them, you know. That wolf is still a progenitor and the admin want to stay put, and Claire did nothing to us in the end, so let us tone back our response, okay? Uh? What are you talking about? You agree with everything I say, right? Not really? He looks at me quizzically and seems to think of something. You know, babe, you don't have to be scared of that monster. Even if she raped you, as long as you have me, everything will be fine. I'm not scared, I'm a blade. I want to be scared by something like that, and I'm also stronger than you since I actually take my hunter training seriously. If it wasn't for the fact that my father wouldn't allow me to hunt until I reached level 30 of swordsmanship, I would have been stronger than a newly awakened girl. You know full well that I don't want to be a hunter. But never mind that, since you actually disagree with me, it seems you broke out of it. Broke out of it? Broke out of what? What are you talking about? He then reaches over the table and grabs my head. Look into my eyes, you are in love with me, so much in fact that you agree with everything I said without questioning it. You will do as I say and never betray me. What is happening? Is it mind control? How is this possible? It must be a unique skill. Is it why I was so infatuated with the love of my life? No way, Ren is too charming to need something like that. Wait, no, I need to keep my head clear. Now, do you agree that we need to kill the monster and the Asian? Why, yes, my love. Yes, my love, whatever you say. Perfect, now follow me. My love leads me to a hotel near here and we get a room. Now strip for me. Now suck on it. Yes. Now I'll make you get wet. I'll give you a taste of a real man. Did you like it, babe? It was better than that monster of a girl, right? Yes, Ren, way better. But was it? It didn't even feel good, so why was I agreeing with him? Because he is always right. But he wasn't. But you love him. Do I? Yes. No. Yes? After all, Ren is such a kind person. With who I fell in love. I don't understand how it's possible that having sex once with someone leave a mark so strong that it made me break out of a unique skill. It's not like me to think about sex like that all the time, I need to think about something else. Let us forget about her for a bit and just bide my time and act hypnotized with Ren. Let us try to level up whatever Dad says so that I can defend myself. Should I go to Natasha Forest for hunting? Arg, stop thinking about that wolf. And just like that, I realized the nature of my fake love for Ren and started plotting to get out of it. If his ability were that strong, he would just control Natasha at the time, but maybe if the target is too strong it doesn't work. It can also be that it only works on one person at a time. Anyway, investigating his ability is one of the many things I will need to do. For now, let us sleep. Ren POV. After talking together a little, she started rebuking me. I didn't understand, she isn't supposed to disagree with me. At first, I thought she was scared of the monster, but after more talking, I found out that the event made her forget her true feelings, so I reactivated my skill and helped her reaffirm her feeling for me. I was so happy when I got my unique skill, and the first thing I did with it was open Julia's eye, and I've never been happier. Then we decided to go make love and it was amazing, so much better than that furry, nobody can compare to Julia. After pleasing her in a way a girl with a fake dick never could, I fell asleep beside Julia. Julia. Natasha POV. After exiting the hotel, I gave Claire a call. Hi Claire, did you make it home safe? Yes, you don't have to worry. What about you? Did you get hurt? Don't worry about that. Once I told him that your father knew that I was meeting with the Phoenix Guild, he let me go with a death threat. He threatened you? Will you be okay? Yeah, don't worry about it. So anyway, do you want to continue our date or just finish it now? Well, my dad would like to talk to you, so maybe we could finish it with supper at my place. Sure, text me the address and I'll be there. Why, yes. After making my way to my truck, I drove to Claire and Richard's house. It was a beautiful beach house with a lot of space, and it was clearly magically defended. After parking my truck, I rang the doorbell by the side of the gate and was greeted by a mature woman's voice. Yes? Hello madam, I'm Natasha Smith. Claire should be let you know I was coming? Ah yes, come in. And the gate opened. After walking to the door, it opened and I was greeted by a mature but beautiful Korean woman. She surely was Claire's mother, since she told me she was half Korean, also that would explain where her beauty came from. So you're the werewolf Richard and Claire always talk about recently. It seems that I am. Don't be so tense, you can call me Lily, and as you've surely guessed, I'm Claire's mom. Anyway, don't just stand there, dinner will be ready in 10 minutes. I then walk inside and go to the sitting room where Richard was sitting. Ah Natasha, it seems my daughter has taken a liking to you, doesn't she? Anyway, don't worry about the Phoenix Guild, we'll keep them off your back. Also, me and Lily want to be dining with you since we have our own date together, we will leave you two alone. And don't forget, harm my daughter and new race or not you are dead. Ah. While he was saying that with a smile, Claire came down the stair and said, Dad. Don't say that kind of thing, it's your fault if I only had one boyfriend, so shut up. She turns to me. Don't mind him, Natasha, let us go eat while father here go put clothes on for his date. She then pushed me in the direction of the kitchen while Richard stood up and rushed upstairs in a panic. It seemed he had forgotten to prepare itself. Here girls, I've made some tacos, since you are both adults I'll leave you two alone. Claire, is your father ready? He currently dressing in a panic. Like always, anyway, tell him I'll be waiting in the car. And just like that, it was only me and Claire. After Richard came down the stair and rushed for the door with a short bye, we sat down and started eating some tacos. They were pretty good and we talk about myself since we were talking about her during the day. So yeah, I wasn't planning on being a hunter at all, even more so when I awakened 10 seconds before turning 20. I was planning on going into architecture, but now, just the thought of working a 9 to 5 make me want to vomit. Wait, if you've awakened 10 seconds before the limit, that means you currently have the world record for the tardiest awakening, right? Yep, the one before me was 3 hours 24 minutes before the limits, so I got a good lead. Anyways, what do you want to do now? Well, I don't know, why don't you tell me what you want? Well, we could watch a movie. Sure, that sounds fun. We came back to the living room and sat on the couch while browsing NTFLX for a movie. After picking one, Claire got up to go make some popcorn, and while she was gone I took a blanket and covered myself with it while letting room for Claire to go under with me. I also dropped my shorts so that my dick was free. Claire came back, but stopped when she saw me. I looked at her and said with a slight smirk. What? You don't want to cuddle with me? No, of course, I want to mumbled, just didn't expect it to happen so soon mumbled. What was that? Nothing. After that, she came even closer and started kissing my neck. She clearly was horny, and so was I, so I grabbed her shin and French kissed her. It felt weird kissing with a snout, but Claire didn't seem to mind as her stroking only grew faster. My dick was now fully erect, she then whispered in my ear. Can I suck on it? Claire, I'm coming, you better stop the deep throat. And remove my hand from her head, but she didn't stop. Claire, I can't hold back much longer, and I come too much for you to handle. But that only made her go faster. Shit. Fine, if you want it so much, I am coming. So, you're satisfied? Very, I even came 2 times during the whole affair. She blushes. And do you also have a dog and futnari fetish? She turned even redder and shakingly nodded. Don't worry, I won't shame you since that's pretty much what I am now. Anyways, we missed the end of the movie, do you want to finish it or go to the bedroom? Let us finish it. I think I got enough comfort today. Sure. I suspected as much, but there is no way that only one person will be able to satisfy me if my libido skill continues leveling up, which had another level up right now. As we finished the movie, Claire asks. So. Are we together now? Well, I do really like you, but you know what my duty as a new race is, right? Of course, I know I can't be the only one, but if I'm the first, that won't be a problem. As for pregnancy, I'm not ready for a kid yet, so that will have to wait, but I do have a slight pregnancy fetish too. And how many fetishes do you have? Quite a lot. They're isn't truly a thing I dislike, except things like scat and gross things. But you fulfill a lot of the ones I enjoy the most, so the moment Dad told me about you, I was determined to make something happen between us. It did move faster than I expected, and I also didn't think that I would have feelings other than sexual ones towards you. So you've truly fallen in love with me? I guess so. What about you? Well, I certainly like you, and want to make you a part of my tribe. But we have all the time in the world to deepen our bond. Speaking of time, can I sleep here? It's already 11 p.m. and it takes 2 hours to go home. Chuckle, of course, you can sleep with me, babe. She then gets up and says, well, let us go to sleep, I'm pretty tired after eating so much. Sure, just let me wash the room before we go. She looks around with a slight shock expression. Well shit, we can't really go and have sex everywhere if it always ends like that. It will take hours to wash all that. Don't worry, I have the wash skill, so it'll only take 15 minutes. After cleaning the room, we climb up the stairs and go into her room. We jump onto the bed both naked and fall asleep while spooning. After waking up and saying goodbye to Claire and her family, I drove back home. After a short rest, I resumed my hunting. It was the second day and I had come back after gaining a level. I was planning to relax for the rest of the evening and then go to sleep, but for some reason, I am not tired at all. I was pretty tired when I came back and even contemplated going to bed directly, but now no fatigue. It wasn't natural, but I have no idea what caused it. After an hour of looking for things to watch on my phone, I decided to go train instead. Once outside, I look up at the night sky and see the full moon. So today is the full moon. Now that I think of it, aren't werewolves supposed to be a wolf only during a full moon? Also, why can't I move? After looking at it, I tried to look down but realized I couldn't. I tried to move all my body, but nothing worked. After a few seconds of struggling, I started feeling some tinglings all over my body and a warm sensation flowing through it. I could now move, but my body was transforming, ripping my clothes apart. I grew 2 feet and my body now looked like a giant wolf with very few human features left. It was still a remarkably unique appearance that definitely can't be mistaken for a simple wolf. I was thinking to myself that was probably the reason I'm a werewolf when my vision started going red. I need to kill something. No, I will kill everything. And I started running into the forest in a mad frenzy. I woke up in the middle of a clearing, with no clothes on and covered in blood. I opened my status and I was now level 23. I remember transforming and rushing in the forest, but after that, it's all blurry. I only remember killing a lot of things and my level can testify to this. I think I even killed a fully grown mad coyote, but that could have been something that looked similar. I wanted to check the time, but my phone was in the pocket of the shorts I ripped, so I looked at the sky and saw the sun rising. It seems that the transformation only lasts for the night, good to know. After making my way back home, picking up my phone, and putting on new clothes, I saw that it didn't last only the night but a whole day instead. Now gaining 7 levels make more sense. I learned 2 things from that. 1. The reason I'm a werewolf and not a wolfkin is because I have a berserk mode every full moon, and yeah, let us call it going berserk. And 2. Every month I will have 1 day where I lost control and kill everything I come across. I need to know if I really attack everything in berserk mode or if part of my tribe is exempt. Also, now that I think of it, since I am now dating Claire, would she not be a member of my tribe? Can I see the members of my tribe? The pack leader skill says that it lets me form a system-assisted tribe, but how do I form one? Vocal command? Form tribe. Activating skill, pack leader. Creating tribe. To create a tribe, you need at least 1 other member. List of possible members. Julia Blade. Okay, well, simple enough. It seems like the list is only comprised of people I had sex with. I definitely don't want Ren and Julia. but why does Claire have an X after her name? Claire Gray. Only awakened or blood-related people can join the tribe. Ah, that's why. The fact only awakened people can join doesn't surprise me, but it seems that my children will be able to join at birth. But I really don't want to have Ren and Julia on the list. Can I remove them? Remove Ren Phoenix? Do you want to remove Ren Phoenix from the list? You can only have the name back by mating with that person another time. Well, I can, and it's not definitive either. Yes. Ren Phoenix has been removed. After doing the same with Julia, I closed the window. I got distracted from my berserk problem, but I couldn't come up with a better solution to just warn people not to come to see me on a full moon night and the day after that. Also, if I gain so much EXP every time, it may not be that bad. Wait, no. The only reason I got so much EXP is that I hunted without reason, and that means there is nothing stopping the berserk me to go and try a monster way stronger than me, so that's pretty bad. Also, I need to find the exact duration of the skill. When I woke up, it was like I woke up after a night of sleeping, not like I suddenly transformed back and gained back my consciousness. I got 3 theories. 1. It goes on for 24 hours, and I fall asleep, waking up in the morning. 2. It goes on until I'm too exhausted, so the stronger I am the longer it gets, and finally 3. It only ends when the bloodlust accompanying the transformation is satiated. 1 is the more probable one, and 2 is the worst case, since that means that it could last for days if I'm strong enough. Anyways, I'm not tired, so I decided that I'll just continue hunting. Since I got a huge boost in level, I decided to go further than ever. With all these levels, my HP surpassed 1,000, so I could maybe kill a low-rank rare monster. After running until I arrived at an unexplored part, I could tell with my sense of smell that I never come here. I slowed my pace and started looking for a stronger monster. I ignored the weak goblin and treant and occasionally hunted trolls if they saw me, but then I found something unexpected. I found a dungeon. It was the first dungeon I saw up close. It was an oval mass of swirling white energy. Dungeon. Name, Wildest Sanctum. Rank, Common. Type, Sanctum. Okay, so not only it is a dungeon that slips the government grid, maybe they turn it off in the forest since it's mine now, but it's even a Sanctum-type dungeon. Sanctum dungeons are very few in number since each of them is linked to a deity, which is pretty much admin superior, and a deity can only have 1 dungeon per planet, and a lot of them do not systemically put a dungeon on a new planet. I also never heard of Wadrak, not that I know a lot of deities since there are hundreds of them. Also, while all Sanctum is Common's rank, that is because there is technically no danger. They work differently since the only danger possible is if you anger the deity or take a test it gave you, and some deities are easy to anger and others impossible, so if I go inside I better be careful of what I do. After careful consideration, I decided to go in. I never actually heard of someone dying inside one of them, and it's not like I will be locked inside once I go in. I placed myself before the portal and took a step forward. It only lasted an instant, but as soon as I was in, I threw up. I heard that the teleportation effect of the dungeon can be quite nauseating, but since it was my first time, I had no resistance to it. I then got a notification. You have entered Wadrak's Sanctum. Should I leave? I just threw up in a deity sanctum, and it would for sure anger the easy-to-anger ones. But after waiting a few minutes beside the exit, nothing happened, so it must be safe to proceed. The exit was placed in a mossy stone corridor, likely of some sort of ruins. There was no source of light except the one at the end, so I started walking in that direction. In the end, the corridor opened into what would have been a garden of a castle, except the castle was in ruin and a forest had grown between the debris. In truth, the way the sunshine and the colorful flower and vegetation gave the place a truly relaxing and divine feeling. That place would be perfect for a nap. In the middle of the garden was a pond with a tree in the middle that had a statue under its shade. There was a small wooden bridge leading to the small patch of land housing the tree. I approached and observed the statue. It depicted a woman that looked like an Amazonian, or a tribe woman. The woman had no face, but it was accompanied by 2 wolves, a white one and a black one, and like the woman, the black wolf had no face. Only the white wolf had a face, and as soon as I walked onto the bridge, its eye started following me. If I had to guess, that wolf was Wadrak. When I was right in front of the statue, it started talking. "Hello, young one, I am Wadrak, companion deity of the goddess of the hunt. I am also the deity wolf of the day. I pay my respect to Wadrak. My name is Natasha Smith, werewolf progenitor of my planet." You don't have to be so formal. I'm only a companion deity and I'm not a big fan of formal titles. The only reason I tell them is that is literally who I am. Also, we're technically both wolves, so talk to me like you would family. Yes. So, anyway, did you come here with a goal in mind, or did you just see that there was a sanctum here and decided to go check? Well, originally it was only to check, but now that I know you are a wolf deity, I would like to ask something. Go ahead, ask away. So yesterday was my first full moon as a werewolf and I wanted to know if you could tell me how the berserk mode works. Oh well, that's simple. The transformation only lasts 24 hours and you get around a 50% boost in all your attributes in exchange for your ability to think. It can only be activated with a full moon. And does I attack anything and anyone? Pretty much, the only one spared is people very close to you. I see, and as long as I don't look at the full moon, it won't activate. Yes, but you will get strong envy to look at it all through the night, so you'll need a strong conviction to resist. But if you worry about it, there is a way for you to control it. Really? How? It's simple, pass my trial and take Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, as your deity. And then I'll be able to control the berserk mode? Not exactly. As you can see on the statue, there are 3 of us: me, the deity wolf of the day, Yovak, the deity wolf of the night, and Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. If you pass my trial, you'll obtain some of my power, which includes control over your problem. Also, the amount of power received is based on the completion rate of the trial. So to get nearly full control over it, you will need to find both Yovak and Artemis and pass their test too. I see. Well, 2 questions. 1, if Artemis is real, does that mean that the Greek god is actually deities? And 2, if I take Artemis as my goddess, what will I have to do? Well, for your first question, yes, the god the Greeks were venerating were deities like Artemis or Zeus. And the reason why the deities revealed themselves at such time was that they took a random non-awakened world to play the faith game, which is a game where you have to get the most possible faithful in whatever time limit was placed. And for the second question, all you'll have to do is give away a part of your hunting gain to the goddess, or me at first. How big a part are we talking about? Since it's just me for now, around 5%. Once you find the other 2, it becomes around 20%. Well, that's not bad. And what about the test? How long does it take? It take around 48 hours to complete, but before you take it, I have 2 prerequisites. First, you need to be at least level 35, and second, you need to start your tribe. So I only need to start the tribe? It doesn't matter how many people are in it? It doesn't. Very well. In that case, I think I'm done here, except if you have something more? Chuckle, no, I do not. Then I will take my leave, see you later. Yes, see you later. Well, that was instructive. A note from Stollard. Sorry for not posting this weekend, it was a busy Easter. After exiting the dungeon, I took a leak on a tree close to it. I know it's a little weird, but I'm marking the place and making sure I can easily find it with my nose. I then resumed my hunting. I now had a clear goal of level 35 and it was best to hit it before the next full moon. I continued walking in the forest until I was blocked by a cliff. It wasn't the biggest cliff out here, but it was still a hindrance. I was looking around to see if I should go around it or go up when I spotted a cave on the side. It didn't look like anything, but something was bugging me about it. After a while, I discovered that it was because the place was marked with a something scent. Monsters generally don't mark their territories like that, so it must be a beast, and must be quite an intelligent one. Since mana arrived and beast adapted, their personalities change and became more aggressive and generally didn't stay in one place and wouldn't bother with markings. Only when they get intelligent enough do the influence of mana offset and they go back to their original personalities, which will then slowly change because of their upgraded psyche. I slowly approach the entrance and look inside. There are a few bones next to the wall close to the entrance and what looks like a leaf bed. The cave is only a dozen meters deep and a few meters large and had nothing else of significance. Whatever was living here was clearly not home, so I decided to just leave and come check on the way back. If that beast was old and strong enough, it may be possible to have a peaceful talk with it, and if it isn't capable of that, then I can just kill it and have some EXP. I just walked away and resumed my walk. After a few minutes, I found my rare monster since the mad coyote, if we don't count the ones I killed while in berserk mode. War Orc. Race, monster. Sex, male. Rank, rare. HP, 1123/1123. It was 2.5 meters tall, with a plump and green body that didn't seem like one of a fighter. It had a simple leather skirt, barely hiding its genitals, and its torso and faces had stripes of red war paint. Its face was a mix of pig and human, with tusk popping out of its mouth. A War Orc is a 2-star rare rank monster. It has a pretty imbalanced stat that makes him a great opponent for speed base hunter. It has 3-star strength and endurance, but all its other stats are 1-star. With my current stat, I could be considered a 1-star rare hunter, but I got enough attack power to take on a 2-star. Even if we're evenly matched in terms of speed stat, I got the advantage in terms of body mass and nimbleness, so as long as I don't get hit, my claws will get through its endurance. I used the fact it didn't notice me yet to slowly go behind him and lunged at its weak spot. After consulting the Pokédex, I found that orcs in general had a weak spot on their back. It generally was covered in paint, but there is a spot that has a darker shade of green, and if you strike it, depending on the species and strength of the orcs, it will stun them. This one weak spot wasn't even covered, and I could clearly see it. You have dealt a critical blow. HP -679. War Orc is stunned for 6 seconds. Roar. It roared in pain, and I understand him. I took 60% of its HP in one strike. I used its stun condition to attack him 2 more times. You have dealt a critical blow x2. HP -298. HP -151. You have killed a War Orc. EXP +283. Each consecutive hit dealt less than the previous one, but with my very high attack power for my level, I easily kill him. I knew that if it wasn't for the fact that he was alone, inattentive, and had its weak spot in plain sight, then I would have had a much harder time. Also, field monster tends to be less dangerous than dungeon monster because dungeon monster generally have some equipment that isn't just branch or rocks. I quickly checked its body for any valuable parts and was preparing to leave when I got interrupted by some roars. It seems that this War Orc wasn't, in fact, alone, as demonstrated by the 2 enraged orcs coming from behind the tree. I quickly dodged the first one who was blindly charging at me, and strikes at the second one trying to splatter me with its club. They both have around the same amount of HP as the first one, but I do not have the advantage. While I was parrying and dodging the attacks of the second orc, the first one came charging again. This time I was prepared and I dodged while pushing him headfirst into a thick tree. He is momentarily stunned and I use the opportunity to attack him. You have dealt a critical blow. HP -642. War Orc is stunned for 5 seconds. Huh? I hit as the weak spot. His was properly covered, so I didn't expect and even try to hit it. I was going to capitalize on my lucky shot, but the other orc used the fact that I was distracted to hit me square into my side. You have suffered a strong blow. HP -403. You have dealt a strong blow. HP 245. You have blinded the War Orc. I got the confirmation that he couldn't see and rushed at the newly recovered orc behind. Just as he was facing me, I used my hand like a spike and tried to pierce its heart. You have dealt a critical blow. HP -547. While it seems that I didn't get its heart, I did puncture his lung, causing him to vomit blood. I quickly dealt the finishing blow, gaining 284 EXP, and sidestepped to my left to dodge the strike of the last one who had somehow pinpointed my location. I couldn't get out of the way enough and he managed to hit my leg. You have suffered a critical blow. HP minus 515. Your leg is broken. You are stunned for 4 seconds. I then decided to run away. As much as I hated the idea of fleeing with my tail between my legs, I hated the idea of dying even more. I was left with less than 100 horsepower, so one hit from him and I'm dead while he surely has more than half his HP left. There was no way I could hit him enough while not being hit myself with a broken leg. At least it was blinded and couldn't follow me. Just as a thought that the orc stopped moving and started sniffing the air. Well. Shit. I just remembered that orc had poor eyesight and a good nose. The only reason he didn't use his nose sooner is that it's dumb and was enraged by the death of its comrade. I quickly got on all four to use my arm as a replacement for my leg and used Gale's favor to turn the wind so that he couldn't smell me, but it was too late and he started to charge toward me. I ignored my broken leg and jumped to the side, dodging him. He then ran into a tree and started sniffing the air again, but this time he couldn't smell me, so I hastily increased the distance before Gale's favor ran out. I could now maintain it for a little more than 2.5 minutes. To my luck, even without my smell, it started walking in my direction. After a minute and a half, I couldn't see him anymore, but I could still smell and hear him. The moment the wind isn't masking my smell, he will surely charge directly at me. Then I arrived at the cliff with the cave in it. If the beast inhabiting the place was aggressive, it would be suicidal, but I decided to take the chance and go inside the cave. Since the place was marked with another beast scent, I would be safe from the orc sense of smell. Just after going inside, my MP ran out and the wind died down. Luckily, the cave was still empty and I took place on the leaves bed. After around an hour, I had recovered a quarter of my HP and I tried to construct a splint out of wood and my t-shirt. Things like a broken bone and lost organs don't get miraculously fixed once your HP is full. For a missing part, it needs a strong healing skill, and for a broken bone, time or healing skill. Still, it likely won't take more than a week to heal. As I was contemplating if I should wait to be fully healed or leave now, the owner of the cave came back, growling. It was 1.5 meters tall gray wolf with some light blue streak in its fur, giving a lightning feel to it. Its paw had a long black claw that had lightning jumping from time to time between them. He had a long tail and sharp canines that he was currently showing to me while growling. Alpha Thunder Wolf. Race, beast. Sex, male. Rank, rare. HP, 2232/2232. It was a thunder wolf and an alpha at that. Thunder wolves are generally 4-star monsters, but an alpha is between 5 and 6 star. They shouldn't be living in this forest, but judging by the lack of tribe this alpha had, he must have been driven out of its home by a stronger monster or another alpha. The good news is that thunder wolves are semi-magic user and have more intelligence than most beasts, and alphas have even more intelligence. The bad news is that it is still a monster way too strong for me, and I am currently intruding in its home, injured. It slowly walks toward me and I lift my hand up in the air to show I don't mean harm, and it seems to work because it then stops growling and starts to sniff the air. After a few seconds, it arrives before me and seemed to examine me. I try to start a conversation. Hello? It then looks at me and barked. While I couldn't understand it since it wasn't a word, it seemed that I could infer some meaning behind his bark. He seemed to ask what I was, but I couldn't be sure, so I decided to just introduce myself and say why I'm there. My name is Natasha Smith and I'm a werewolf. I was fighting some war orcs but lost and nearly died, so I ran and used your cave to mask my odor so they couldn't follow me. It looked at me and with a woof, he left the cave. I think he meant for me to stay here. Anyway, he didn't seem like he was going to kill me or force me to leave, so I decided to wait and see. After half an hour, he came back with a dead orc, which was the orc I fled from. It seems he found it and killed it. Did he wanted to eliminate the threat? He then pushes its corpse before me and barked. He then started eating it. Oh, he was bringing me food. It seems that wolf was actually pretty kind. Since I was pretty hungry, I started eating with him. Pork, unsurprisingly, tasted like pork. After eating, he got closer to me and wrapped himself around me, and started sleeping. It was still around noon, but I decided to follow its example and take a nap. I woke up to him licking my face. Once he saw I was awake, he barked and lowered himself. I think he wants me to go on his back, so I do. After climbing on his back and grasping at his fur, he gets out of the cave and looks around, then at me. Does he want to bring me back home? Holy shit, that wolf is kind, for a beast. I point in the direction of my home and he starts jogging. We arrived at my cavern when the sun started setting. He dropped me inside and turned to leave, but I called to him. Wait. He turned to me. Do you want to stay with me? I got enough room for two, and I wouldn't mind some company. He stoically looked at me and nodded his head. I think he was trying to seem benevolent and grand, but his furiously wagging tail totally ruined that, not that I mind since mine was also strongly wagging. It seems we were both happy to make a new companion, and I'm even happier since it's a strong and beautiful wolf like him. Wait. Is this an erection? Oh, I'm sexually attracted to him, aren't I? Well, it's probably normal for a werewolf to be in a close relationship with a wolf. Anyways, sex will have to wait for my leg to heal. It's been 2 days since I broke my leg. I'd decided to name the wolf Byro, which is a totally random name that I thought sounded good, and he agreed with me. Byro spends most of the day hunting while I heal from my broken bone. I've texted Richards for a healer, but they are rare and in demand, so he told me that he'll try, but my leg will likely be already healed by the time he found a healer who had the time. I rapidly discovered that I was not the only one that was attracted by the other, as I would often see an erection from Byro, but we both restrain ourselves. I know that sex with a broken leg is surely possible, but I don't even have a proper cast, and I can't imagine a wolf having calm sex. So anyway, right now, the sexual tension is through the roof. I pass the day by going online and texting Claire. It's pretty much the same thing I did before coming here, but now I find this so incredibly boring. I never would have thought that my previously favorite part of the day would become a punishment. My body aches for a fight, and staying still like that is so uncomfortable. If it wasn't for the fact that potion only replenishes your HP, I would be leveled up like 5 times by now. It's even worse when I remember that I need to hit 35 before the next full moon. Today, Claire told me she was going to stay with me for a couple of days while I heal, so I asked Byro to help wait for her at my warehouse/parking spot. It was only 11 a.m., but I had no shit to do, so I waited while petting Byro. After 1.5 hours, a black 4x4 arrived. But if I recall correctly, Richards had a BMW and a Toyota in their driveway. There is no loss in being careful, so I call back Byro with a shout since he had gone hunt for something to eat. After a couple of minutes, the truck is right in front of me, and Byro isn't there. 3 generic-looking thugs steps out of the car, leaving only the driver. 2 of them have a gun and the last one has a sword. Having a gun is the best way to say that you are a low-rate hunter, and even the guy with a sword doesn't have any other proper equipment apart from it, so he can't be too strong either. That mean that they're either aren't here to fight or they have a way to stop me from fighting. The one with the sword come forward and throw something at my feet and say, "Take this and get in the car." I look at him cautiously. I'm able to put some weight on my leg, but walking hurt a lot, so I decided that it was better to stay for times while Byro arrive. But also they want me to come into the car. Even if Byro arrives, they surely won't let him get in. While I was deliberating, the man said. I nodded to the man and walked towards the car. I tried my best to walk like normal while suppressing the pain. Showing myself weak before these people would be bad, but who were those people? At first, I thought it was the Phoenix Guild, but would they be crazy enough to kidnap an ONU member and his daughter? As the cars start moving, I look back and see Byro following. I really hope the place isn't too far or he won't have the stamina to follow us all the way, at least he won't lose us with his nose. Since the man in that car is clearly not the mastermind, keeping Byro a surprise is a much better idea than just dealing with these thugs. After around an hour of silent driving, we arrive at another abandoned warehouse. After a closer look, while it seems like an abandoned warehouse, there are electric fences, digital padlocks, and a multitude of security measures that are clearly active, so I was pretty sure that it wasn't a one-time place for shady business. That told me that it was probably the Phoenix Guild, because I don't think that would be the base of a foreign government, and who would be stupid enough to bring a strong and important person to an important location. After clearing the fence and driving through a door that had opened at our arrival, we arrives in a garage, a simple, gray wall garage. They get out of the car and gestured for me to follow. After passing a security check, I arrive in a white office, with white walls and white furniture. At least I know that they won't kill me inside that room, because if they did, the blood would definitely ruin the room. Like I guessed, on the couch was Ren, behind him was Julia, and two well-armed guards. I couldn't tell if they were from the guild or not, and something is definitely going on with Julia. She was looking at me strangely, and why would she be standing behind Ren when she has the bigger status? He says, well, if it isn't the dog. You know I'm more of a wolf than a dog, right? Oh, okay, for a moment I thought your brain was as small as your dick. It took a moment for Ren to register what I said while Julia was hiding a small smile behind her hand, seems she agreed with me. When Ren finally made the connection, his face turned red. Okay, listen now you slut. I have your girlfriend and her father hostage, so if you insult me one more time, you're all dead, you included. I, of course, hadn't forgotten that fact. I was trying to rile him up so that he's impulsive instead of smart. Inside I was super worried and hoped that Byro would be able to enter the building unnoticed. What do you want? Well, you see, at first my brother and I were planning to simply capture you, torture you a little, and kill you, but we have since then discovered that ending a new race during the tutorial period will put not only the law but also the admin on your back. And even while using someone else and making them take the blame, we can't really escape from the admin. Yeah, okay, get to the point. My brother decided to impede your progress while we wait for the tutorial to end, but I wasn't satisfied with that, not after what you did to my Julia. At that phrase, I see Julia giving Ren a disgusted look. You had the audacity to put your filthy thing inside her pure body, to try and corrupt her beauty with your filth. Luckily, I was able to clean her, but that doesn't change the fact that you touch my properties. Julia clearly wasn't liking what he was saying, but Ren didn't notice. Anyway, that guy has an unhealthy obsession with Julia. If it wasn't for the fact that Julia would surely be targeted too, I would already gouge your eyes out and put you on a stake in the middle of the city. Instead, I decided to give you the honor of becoming Julia's dog. What? So, you want me to become her dog? Yes, since you scarred her, you will become her servant and act like a dog for the rest of your life. In exchange, I will let go of our two hostages. Before continuing our negotiation, I would need to confirm their condition. You don't get to ask thing. I look at the guards behind him, who are visibly distraught by Ren's stupidity, confirming that he really was stupid. I look back and say, why would I ever agree to anything if I'm not even sure you have a hostage? For all I know, the finger you gave me could have been fake created with a skill or something. And it's not like there is nothing I can do against you, you know? Suffice for me to kill myself here and the admin will come and kill you. He goes from anger, to fear and finally, reluctance. He turns and signals for a guard to bring them in. After 10 minutes of waiting, which shows that he really wasn't planning on showing them to me, Richard and Claire arrive. They are both totally unarmed except for the finger missing, but both were currently sleeping. Here, satisfied? Yeah. He makes a gesture and the guards and the hostages leave. Now, like I said. He takes out a contract. Sign this magic contract and become Julia's dog and I'll let them go. I take the contract and read it. Magic contract. by signing this contract. The contractee, Natasha Smith, agrees to become the contractor, Julia Blade's dog. 1. The contractee will have to be the contractor dog for as long as he desires. 2. The contractee will need to defend the contractor no matter what, even if it cost their life. 3. The contractee will be unable to attack the contractor. 4. The contractee will need to obey to the best of their effort the command of the contractee. 5. In exchange, the contractor will let Richard and Claire Gray go home without difficulty. If any of the parties doesn't respect any of the above, the one breaking the contract will die. When he brought out a magic contract, I was worried that I truly would need to be another person's dog for the rest of my life. Julia was staring at me with determined eyes. When comparing her behavior between when I first met her and now, she clearly disapproves of Ren and his method. I don't know why she's staying with him, but since she's the one who determines how long I stay enslaved, I don't think I would stay a dog for long. Since Julia would die if they didn't let go of Richard and Claire, I decided to sign it without more arguing. While it's maybe a bad decision to trust Julia, she seems to me like a totally different person, and it's not like I got many choices. A note from Stollard. I could continued the chapter, but I have work tomorrow, so I had to cut it a little short. I was now officially Julia's dog. Ren looked at me with a grin. Perfect, now bark. No. Excuse me? His grin disappeared. You are Julia's, and since Julia is mine, you are also mine by association. Julia cringed. He is deranged, and stupid. Well, whatever you say, if it is not on the contract, it won't work. That's pretty much how a contract works, you know? He sputtered. Oh, of course, I know that. Then Julia. Tell her to bark. Oh, okay, Natasha, bark. I couldn't stop myself and I let out a bark. Ren's grin reappeared at my bark and clapped his hand. Perfect, since we're done here, Paul. One of the guards responded. Yes, sir. Escort us out of here, also, don't say about this to my brother. Yes, sir. I cough. Cough, I think you forgot something. Oh, really now? Yeah, releasing the hostage. You know? The thing the contract said you needed to do if you don't want Julia to die? He looked back at Paul. And that too. Yes. Now, I need to find a way to talk to Byro. Ren continued. Julia, come. Yes. And they left. I followed them and we made our way back to the garage where I had arrived. When the garage door opened, I asked. We're going to the city? Well, yes. Then can I go take a leak before the ride? What? Really? Do you think I'm that stupid? I won't let you run away so easily. Then just make Julia order me to come back once I finish my business. Or if you want, I can piss in the car like a real dog. Gore, Julia, do it. Come back when you're finished with your business. She's definitely on my side. I tried to phrase the order in a way that gave me freedom and she took it. There is no way that a rich and intelligent, I think? Still don't know much about her, young lady can just make a stupid mistake like that normally. Yes. I quickly make my way behind the tree line and without delay, Byro pop out. Byro, so to quickly explain the situation, the guy behind me took someone close to me hostage and used magic to make me a slave to the girl. Before you try anything, I don't really need your help. The way I became her slave has a lot of loopholes and I'm not in danger, so don't worry about me. Now, I know we don't know each other for very long, but I would like for you to escort the hostage and make sure he keeps his promise. You can give them this to make sure they don't attack you. He comes closer and affectionately licks my face, then start to put it into my mouth, and it then rapidly devolves into a session of French kissing. While it is freaking weird to kiss a wolf, I can't help but like it. After a few seconds, he stops, nudges me, and leave. Since I had finished my business, my body moved on its own and came back. I quickly got into the car. Julia was shotgun and Ren was in the back seat, so I had to sit beside him. Ren just put on an earbud and closed his eye while Julia was nervously looking at me and out the window. After an hour and a half, we arrived in the city. We then made our way to the Phoenix Guild. Once in front of the building, Ren got up and looked at Julia. "That's where we part way today, my love, but don't worry, for I will come for you tomorrow. While you wait, you can torture your new dog however you want, I won't interfere. As for you," he turns to me, "enjoy your new life." He then leaves, and I'm left alone with the driver and Julia. What a jerk, and what's with the lame-ass love movie talk? Anyway, after 30 minutes, we arrive at a condo complex. We exit the vehicle and make our way inside and up the elevator. I then ask, "You live in a condo?" I would have expected for someone as rich as you to live in a manor. "My father does, but he prefers to keep his children free, also, it's really inconvenient to go to school from a manor." "So he just bought you a condo and let you live alone?" "Well, pretty much. He did assign me a maid, but as soon as I was old enough she left. And let me guess, that maid was awful at her job and hated children?" "No, she was very good at her job but was very professional about everything, so there wasn't really any love." "I see, and what about your mother?" "While she comes to see me from time to time, she doesn't have any power. Our position relative to my dad is pretty much the same. And just so you know, while my dad doesn't like children, he likes even less girls." "So your dad is a sexist and misogynic bastard?" "Yeah, pretty much. You should see how he treats my brothers. The only way he would acknowledge is if I surpassed them and was useful enough." We arrived at the top floor and made our way toward one of the 2 doors of the hallway, minus the stairway. She used her card and opened the door. The condo was huge, there were 2 floors, a pool on the balcony, the biggest kitchen I ever saw, and the living room had everything you could want. It really is a condo fit for the second biggest guild. It's a pretty nice place. Yeah, the one thing he likes even less than me is damaging his reputation or the one of the guild. I kinda got that when he paid me to not talk about what happened. She sat on one of the huge leather couch. "So, what happens now?" She looked at me. "For now, come sit next to me." I did. "Okay. I need your help." "Well, I kinda got that already. Ren is a freak, but I don't understand why you can't just break up with him. Even if you don't have much power, your dad won't let someone from an inferior guild harm someone from his." "Well, the problem is that he has awakened already." "Okay, and?" "He got a unique skill." "Which is?" "Stop stalling. Some kind of mind control, that's the reason we were together." "Okay, so he's a possessive freak with a unique skill to hypnotize you. But if you know that, that means it's not infallible." "No, it's not. I managed to break out after our first meeting, but didn't he realize it? Then when I met him and wasn't agreeing with him, he put me back in it." "And how did you manage to break out the second time?" She sheepishly looked down and murmured, "We had sex, but it was so unsatisfying that even my love-struck hypnotized self couldn't help but doubt the relation." "That was the first time you had sex?" "And no. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but after having sex with me, sex with Ren became so unsatisfying that you broke out of a unique skill?" She nodded. "Well, I wouldn't mind plugging your hole a second time, you know." She ignored me and said, "Anyway, after some observation, I think he can only control a limited number of people at the same time. Also, he needs to look directly into the eye of the person for a certain amount of time to take control." "How many people can he control?" "Well, since he thinks I'm still hypnotized, I would say 2, but he could have other permanent hypnotism. He can only give orders vocally, so by phone work, but not by text." "Does he needs to tell the person that they're no longer under his influence, or can he just give a mental command?" "He needs to tell them." "Okay, who is currently the one controlled other than you?" "It would be Paul. He is the boss of a small crime ring that works for Ren Brothers. He doesn't take orders from Ren normally." "I see. But breaking out of it doesn't make you realize you were controlled?" "No, it doesn't. but he needs to make you forget about the hypnotism while he was in control. He did it too late for me, so I remembered. Why, yeah, I would be never bullied Claire normally. Good, well, before we get to dealing with Ren, could you negate the contract? What do you mean? The contract says I need to be your dog for as long as you desire, so you just have to say, I don't want you to be my dog anymore, and it will be negated. Really? That makes sense. She hesitated. But how do I know you'll still help me after I release you? Really? Yeah. I look her over, sensing my dick harden. But if you don't believe me, I could make you one of mine. She looked down at my erection. She was momentarily stunned, but then I think I saw her drooling before she wiped her head up and said, There's no need for that. Then say it. I no longer want you to be my dog. Nothing happened. She looks at me in confusion. Did it works? Only one way to find out. I said as I lunged at her. She yelped as I grabbed her by the throat. Seem it worked since I can hurt you. What are you doing? Disciplining you. I pull down her pant, leaving her in underwear. I then ask. Do you want to do this here on the floor like dogs, or in the bedroom like humans? She looked at me and said nothing. I looked down at her panties and saw that they were drenched. On the floor it is. I throw her beside the couch face first so that her butt is in the air. I then violently remove the last of her cloth while she stays here and look at me not with fear or disgust, but with pleasure and satisfaction. Now bark for me. What? I spank her. Ah. Bark. Woof. Louder. Woof. Good girl. Ready or not, here it comes. Ooh fuck. I spank her again and start pumping. You like my dick, don't you? Yes. After a few more thrusts, I try to change position but put too much weight on my broken leg, so instead, I get out of her and lay down. If you like it so much, then work for it. At first, it seemed like she wasn't going to, but she sheepishly climbed on top of it and shook her hips with a moan. Since you can't seem to live without it, tell me how much you like it. I love it. It's so much better than that scumbag pecker. She got more into it and put more force into her movement. I wanted it so bad. Ever since you raped me, I couldn't think about anything else. Who would have known that the famous Julia Blade would be such a masochistic slut? And, no, I'm not a slut. I thirst my hip. Ah. But it's not my fault. There's no way anyone can resist you. If you say so. Then, after another few seconds, I erupt my first load in a few days straight inside. There was so much of it that she started looking pregnant. After sitting on me for a couple of minutes while waiting for my knot to deflate, she shakingly gets off and lets my seed escape. That was amazing. I really needed that. What are you talking about? What? There is no way I'll be satisfied with only that. A note from Stollard. Sorry for the long delay, I got sick and was lacking motivation. I will continue to write chapter, but I can't promise a consistent upload since it's first and foremost a hobby. I won't force myself if I don't want to. Also, I'm open to any idea for the story or character. I always like to expand my ideas by taking in others. Julia's POV. Useless. In a dark room, a little girl stands. You're useless. She plays, trains, study, and ages. Make yourself useful. As she grows, one thing stays the same. Useless. Those voices all around her, every year, every day, calling her useless. Gasp. I wake up with a jump, gasping for air. Huff huff. Useless. It's the single word that my family tells me regularly, and the only word my dad spoke to me in a few years. I've tried everything, but I never managed to make myself useful, so I decided to become a hunter. That way, as long as I hunt a lot, I will be useful. I look around me. I'm in my room. I remember the intense session I had with Natasha last night, and I deduced she must have carried me here after I fainted. I looked down at my sheet. Sheesh, they are full of sperm. I guess I was full of it and it leaked while I slept. I got up and removed the sheet from my bed and put them in the laundry basket. I glanced at my clock, it was 8h12. I got into the corridor and started looking for Natasha. I found her in one of the empty rooms sleeping messily on the bed. I would be never guessed that I would end up having that kind of relationship with another race, but I can't deny such good sex, and I need her help. I lost my virginity in some deal my father made, so exchanging my body for a favor is not strange for me. Suddenly, my phone rang, it was my father. I quickly exit the room and answered. Hello? Yeah, hi, make yourself useful and come to the mansion with Ren today. What? Don't make me repeat myself. Yes, at which hour? Around 15h. You're lucky that the brother of the guild master of the Phoenix Guild like you're finally useful. I'm useful? As long as Ren like you, yes. I wanted to say some more but he hung up. I thought that my relationship with Ren didn't mean anything to him, but it make me useful? Then I shouldn't terminate it. I just need to pretend to be hypnotized and I'll be useful. But what do I say to Natasha? Natasha SPOV. I woke up to a phone ringing. I looked around and was about to get up when I overheard Julia's conversation. It seems her father wants to meet Ren, and I can't decide if it is a good or a bad thing. After thinking a bit about it, I got up and exited the chamber. Julia wasn't behind the door anymore. I found Julia pacing nervously around the living room and called to her. Good morning. Natasha, you're already up, good. Wow, calm down, you seem very nervous. Am I? No, everything fine. Yeah. Sure. Anyway, I've thought about it and I don't want to break off my relationship with Ren. Wait, what? Yeah, being hypnotized isn't so bad there's no need to do anything, you're already free anyway, so can't you just let it go? Is Ren here? No, why would he? Because it seems to me you got hypnotized to find being hypnotized not too bad. No way, I just find that my relationship with him is useful, so I don't want to put a stop to it. Are you talking about what your father said? You heard that? I sleep pretty light and I have very good hearing. She looks down at her feet. Well, like I said, it is useful. Yeah, for your father, and I thought you hated him. I slowly walk in front of her. It's true that I don't like him very much, but I'm being useful so I don't really mind. So as long as you are useful, you'll do the thing you don't want? Maybe? I don't know, I want to kill myself for whatever reason though. Oof, I knew that she wasn't loved while growing up, but it seemed it lead up to trauma and some kind of mental illness. I grab her and force her to sit down on the couch. Okay, then if you help me deal with Ren, that would make you very useful. I don't know, it's the second time my father called me useful. What was the first time? When I lost my virginity to one of his business partner. What? Yeah, it was scary at first, but I was useful so it's not that bad. You're 18, right? How young were you when it happened? 13, but it's no big deal. Ooh shit, that girl has a severe problem. I definitely need to bring her to a psychiatrist, but I need to do something right now. What a mess, for now, I'll try talking to her. Julia, listen to me. I give her a tight hug. You don't need your father to tell you are useful or not. I know I haven't been treating you well since we've met and I'm sorry. Your father did a horrible thing to you and I'm sure that you don't realize a lot of it. For now, I want you to tell me what you truly want to do. I release her. I don't know, I know that my father wasn't the best parent but he wasn't horrible, and he told me that I'll be useful. Yeah, there was no way that I could fix years of trauma with a few words. I'm not asking you to stop being useful to your father, I'm asking you what you really want to do concerning the situation with Ren. Please, that would really help me. Really? Well, I don't want to stay with him. He's a pervert with a freaky obsession with me, and the more we have sex, the weirder his fetish becomes. The sex is always bad, and I'm always scared of being hypnotized. I'm scared of him. Sometimes I wish that he would just disappear. That worked better than anticipated. She has a real, I need to be useful complex. Also freaky fetish? What kind of fetish? Well, he has a foot fetish, but the more freaky one is that he like being pissed on. Pfft, well I see. But let us not fetish shame. If that's what he like, that's okay. Yeah. I still don't like doing it. At that moment I receive a text. Claire. Natasha. I've awakened. What? What? What's happening? Claire just awakened. Oh, I see. Come with me, I need to go see her. What? Why am I coming? Because, 1, I'm not letting you keep that relationship with Ren, 2, you need to apologize to her about the bullying. Even if you were hypnotized, you still need to do it. And 3, you're one of mine now, so I want to let you fall into your father's grasp. Okay, but what do you mean by I'm one of your now? I mean that I'll make you a member of my pack, that you're one of my mate. She looked flabbergasted, then she looked down with a blush. I wasn't letting her decide anyway, so I grabbed her along and left the condo. Once out of the building, I looked around and asked, "Do you have a car?" "Why yes, it's over there." It was a Porsche. Your father bought that or Ren did? My dad, he has a partnership with Porsche. Makes sense, where are the key? I'll drive. In the condo. I did rush her without letting her get ready. Stay here, I'll get them. After a quick ride up and down the elevator, we got in the car and I started driving. Julia asked me. When you said I'm a part of your pack, does that mean you'll impregnate me? Yeah. That's kinda hot. Yeah. What did you mean when you said my father did horrible things to me? He sold your virginity to a pedophile for a favor, that's horrible. A virginity is supposed to be a thing you lose with someone you love and that loves you back. Really? How did you lose your virginity? It was with my first boyfriend, he was sweet and caring and I really loved him. Why did you break up then? He died in a car crash. Oh. I'm sorry. Hey, don't be. It was a long time ago and to be frank, I don't think I would like him if we were to meet now. Ever since I became a werewolf, I don't feel like the same person. Doesn't that scare you? Meh, not really, I kinda just accepted it and I feel nothing about it, but we're not gonna talk about me, let us go back to talking about you. But what is there to talk about? First, as soon as we're done with Ren. You're going to see a psychiatrist. Why? I'm not crazy. Well, maybe not, but you have some mental disorder and you need help. You've been speaking of what you lived growing up like it's nothing, but it's not nothing, it's abuse. You're hurt but you don't even realize it. If I was being abused, I would be known. Actually, a lot of abused children don't even know they are being abused, so what I'll be doing is help you see the abuse. Oh, okay. Anyway, we're here. I park on the side of the road and walk up to the gate and rang the interphone. Yes? Who is it? Hey Richards, it's me, Natasha, Claire texted me. Is it true she awakened? Oh, Natasha, you're safe. Yes, she did, come inside. The gate opens and I walk inside. Then turn around and grab Julia, who was trying to slip away. Don't run away. Don't worry, I'll explain what happens, you just need to apologize to Claire when the time comes. She reluctantly followed behind me. As we approached the door, it opened and Claire got out to greet me. Natasha. You're here. And? Julia? Why is she here? Oh no, don't tell me she didn't release you and now she wants to use you to attack us? Wow, calm down sunshine, I'm free, you don't have to worry. She is here to apologize, and I've got a few things to explain. But first, congratulations on your awakening. Giggles, thank you. What skill did you get? She looked at Julia and said. Well, let us go inside first. Also, you're sure she can be trusted? Yeah, don't worry. We got inside and sat in the living room. Julia and I were on a different couch and Claire was on my lap. Well, I got a unique skill. No way, really? Yeah, it's called Healer S Boon. It gives triple XP and proficiency on healing related skills and mastery. It also gives me a healing skill at the same level as an epic one. Amazing, so you're going to be a healer for sure, and surely a great one. I'm not going to be any old healer, I'm going to be the Smith clan healer. Oh, you, come here. I grab her face and French kiss her. I look over and see Julia half covering her face with a heavy blush. That's great, since you have a healing skill, can you heal my leg? What do you mean? Your leg is hurt? Yeah, it's broken. I see. Wait. What? Your leg is broken and you've been walking around like it's nothing? Are you crazy? Well, it does hurt, but it's healed enough that all it does is slow down the healing process. I don't think I'll manage to get through to you with simple logic. Anyway, let me see. She hops down off my lap and crouches down in front of my leg. After a little searching, she exclaimed. It's purple. Your whole leg is purple. And swelled. There is no way your leg would be healed naturally. Oh, okay. So can you heal it? Maybe? Even if it's an epic healing skill, it's still level 1, but if it doesn't work, I'll call a healer. After a few moments of concentration, Claire's hand glowed green and she touched my leg. After 10 seconds, it stopped. The swelling had reduced by half, but the color hadn't changed. I can heal it, but I don't have enough mana to do it in one try. I'll give you crutches, so don't put weight on it until I've healed it enough, understood? Yes, ma'am. Good, now that S dealt with. Let us talk about why Julia S here. A note from Stollard. Next week, I got a lot of free time, so I'll be writing more. Also, please tell me what you think of what I did with Julia character. I've decided to try and add more depth to her character. As we were all sitting there, I filled in Claire. So in resume, she has trauma, was hypnotized, and didn't he actually want to bully you? Claire responded. I see. I gave a look to Julia. Even if I was hypnotized, I'm still sorry for how I treated you. Claire got up and took Julia in a hug. Shoo, you don't have to apologize. Truth be told, I thought something was off about you for a while, and it all makes sense. And if you ever want to talk about your childhood, you can count on me. Thanks. Claire returned to my side and cast another healing spell on my leg. Now that you have awakened, it's finally time for me to create my pack. What do you mean? Well, I have a skill that let me create a pack, but I need at least one other member to create it. To add someone to it, the person needs to be awakened and I need to have had sex with it, so since you weren't awakened I couldn't yet. Oh. Cool. But why didn't you add Julia then? Well, you were my first mate, so I wanted you to be the first. Yeah, no, I just kinda forgot. Also, I wouldn't be surprised that there a title link to the first member, and I prefer Claire to have it than Julia. Anyway, I'll try now. Form tribe. Activating skill, pack leader. Creating tribe. To create a tribe, you need at least one other member. List of possible members. Julia Blade. Add Claire Gray. Invitation sent. Pending. Oh. Claire exclaimed. I got a notification. Well, accept it. Unless you don't want to be part of my tribe. She waves her finger in front of her. How do I do it? It's not a touch screen. Try vocal command. Okay, accept. Invitation sent. Pending. Accepted. Suddenly, both me and Claire started faintly glowing white. Pack created. Awarding title. You have gained the pack leader title. Member Claire Gray has been awarded the title, First Mate. Title, Pack Leader, F. Description, the leader of a system-assisted pack. Effect, let you teach your skill to a member of your pack. The time needed to learn the skill depends on the rarity of the skill. Cannot teach the pack leader skill. Effect 2, decrease pregnancy duration by 75%. Effect 3, remove the disability effect of pregnancy. Oh, that's a pretty nice title. 1T make me any stronger, but with this effect, I got an excuse to monopolize all skill cards my future tribe will find. Also, as I suspected, Claire got a title. I got the pack leader title and it says you got the first mate title. What does it mean? Well. As I was wondering what it could possibly be, another window popped up. Pack screen. Leader, Natasha Smith. First mate, Claire Gray. First guardian, not applicable. Other members, 0. Pack leader skill. Status viewing. Let you see a member status. 80% of total MP per use. Mind link. Let you connect one or more members to a telepathic mind link. 25 MP per minute for each member connected. Mini map. Give you a map that constantly tracks members and reveals 1 kilometer around each of them. Skill effect and cost will be ameliorated with pack leader skill level. Oh, well, let us try it right now. Don't worry, Claire, I'll look by myself. Check Claire's status. Eek, what? Pack member status. Name, Claire Gray. Race, human. Sex, female. Affiliation, Natasha S. Pack. Primary job, healer. Level, 1. EXP to level up, 0/10. HP, 150/150 plus 1 point per minute. MP, 3/150 plus 1 point per minute. Stats. STR, 10. AGI, 10. End, 10. VIT, 10. Int, 10. WIS, 10. Title list, 1. First mate. Skill list, 1. Unique healer S. Boon. I concentrated on the title. Title, First Mate. Description, the first female of the pack other than possibly the leader. Effect 1, increase fertility. Effect 2, gives you the same libido and endurance in bed as the pack leader. Effect 3, decrease pregnancy duration by 75%. Effect 4, remove debilitating effects of pregnancy. Effect 5, if mating is performed with someone other than the pack leader, you will receive the cheating whore debilitating title. I expect more combat-related effects, but this is also good. I also took the time to look at her skill. Skill, Healer S. Boon. Description, the talent of the healer. Effect 1, X3 EXP to skill and proficiency related to heal. Effect 2, grants the same effect of an epic heal skill. Heal, epic. Effect 1, heal 5% of the target max HP. Effect 2, slowly heal broken bone and organs. Range, 1 meter. Cost, 55% MP per use. That one will be really useful once it's leveled up enough. You can see my status? Claire asked. Oh, yeah, since you are part of my pack I have a skill that let me check member status, but it uses the majority of my mana so I can't use it regularly. Oh, so you saw the title? Well, yeah. I don't see what the problem is. Why didn't you want to say it? Well, it's a sex-based title, of course, I would be embarrassed. If you say so. Yeah, I would be even embarrassed too if I was still human, but I'm not, so I can't help finding it stupid. Anyway, I'll add Julia now. Add Julia Blade. Invitation sent. Pending. Accepted. Julia, who was just silently sitting there awkwardly and looking at my broken leg, didn't even flinch and rapidly accepted. Like the first time, we both glowed white for a few moments. The only difference between the one with me and Claire was that the glow was barely visible and way shorter. There wasn't any notification other than confirmation that she joined, so I guessed that the first guardian title is for the first male. Since we're done with that, how about a brunch or something? I haven't eaten since noon yesterday. Leave it to me, I'll make you something to eat. Thanks Claire, make sure to have lots of meat. No problem. Claire got up, kissed me, and walked to the kitchen. Now, Julia. What do we do about tonight's supper with your dad? He told you to go at around 15h00 and it is currently. I checked my phone. 9h35, so we got more or less 5 hours to prepare something and heal my leg. She looked at me while her hand were tugging her shirt. Well, don't I just have to go? I hate to admit it, but you are right. What does that mean? What? Why do you hate admitting it? You think I'm stupid? Or that I'm so apparently traumatized that I can't think for myself? Yes. What? Yes, I think you are stupid. And that your judgment is clouded because of your trauma. I've been treating you well because I pitied you, but if you lash out like that at every snide remark I make at you, don't expect me to stay gentle. Am I clear? I didn't tee up to my voice or anything, and said all that with a smile. She looked disgruntled, but she still nodded her understanding. Good. Also, the reason I said I hated to admit it was because that means I can't intervene or anything since I'm not invited and there's no way I will be. She now looked ashamed at her allegation. For now, just set up the meeting with Ren. Call him and put it on speaker. But what do I say? Just tell him your father wants to meet him. She pulled out her phone and dialed Ren's number. I quickly gestured for her to come to sit next to me. After only a few ringtones, Ren answered. Hey babe, what's up? Hey babe, I got a call from my father this morning. And? He doesn't even sound surprised by the fact her father called her? Cough, I bet he didn't even take the time to learn about Julia. Well, he told me he wanted us to go and meet him together today at 15h. Really? Did he say why? No. Well okay then, I got nothing to do. Do you want me to go grab you now or later? Later. What time? Well, the mansion is more or less 30 minutes away from my home, so come get me by 14h30, okay? Just before the meeting? You don't want to meet beforehand? Well. She gave me a glance asking for help. Whispering, so tell him you need to pay special attention to your makeup to meet with your dad. I need to prepare myself. I don't see my father every day, so I need to put special care into my appearance. You should too. Ugh, you are right. Well, if there's nothing more, I'm gonna go, see you later. Why, yeah, you too. And at that, he hangs up. Julia seems to deflate for a few moments before she starts speaking. I hate speaking to him. He is so arrogant and narcissistic while being such a douchebag. I can't imagine someone like me being ever with him if it wasn't for his power. Someone like you? Yeah, even if he is the brother of a powerful guild master, he has no class and is closer to a hooligan than a noble like me. Yep, she definitely needs training. As I was considering how to rein her in and train her, Claire popped her head out of the kitchen and called. It's ready, come eat. Oh no, Natasha waits for me to help you. Do not walk with that leg, you hear me? Oh well, I'll think about that later. For now, let us eat the first meal my maid ever made me. This is the current status of Natasha. After an afternoon of healing my leg and discussion, the time finally came. I told Julia to silently call me so I could listen live, and if I needed to talk to her, I can use the newly acquired mind link. If it wasn't for the expensive cost, I would let it on the whole time. My leg was fully healed now, so I rode with Julia to her apartment just in case Ren wanted to check on me. After setting up the call, Ren arrived and Julia departed. So. Here we go? Julia POV. I descended the stair and joined Ren in the reception. Hi babe. Wow babe, why, you look good. I know, right? I would look even better if I hadn't forgotten my shoes at my brother's place. Ah, that at least explains the flip-flop. Anyway, let us get going, okay? Do you know the road or do you want me to drive? I'll drive. I can't make my girl drive when I'm going to visit her father, you know. First impressions are important. Yes they are. And yours is automatically bad. I got into the car and we started driving. He had a Dodge Hellcat, but while the exterior was pristine, the interior had clearly recently been removed of trash with extra cleaning. There were crumbs everywhere and trace of old spilled Coke and other beverage, so everything I touched was sticky. Do you want some music? Sure. He put on some reggae. I didn't expect that from him. I was sure he was going to put something douchey, but I could get behind some BBMRLY. After 30 minutes, we arrived at the mansion. We quickly passed the security check and parked in the driveway. It was a European-style mansion with a big driveway and a fountain in the middle of it. As we exited the car, the door opened, and the family butler, Clahador, greeted us. He is a short Frenchman with a white beard and hair. He had a perfect suit that distinguished him as the lead butler. He used to be practically bald, but recent progress in magical hair growth let him regain his hair. Good day to you, Mr. Phoenix. Julia, please follow me inside. Monsieur Blade is waiting for you. We walked inside and Clahador led us to the dining room where my father was waiting at the end of a table. Ren was seated opposite him while I was next to Ren. My father looked at Ren and looked bewildered, surely because of his clothes. After gaining his composure back, he addresses us. So, you are Ren Phoenix, the boyfriend of my daughter? Yes, sir. Good, even if it wasn't your intention, I would hope that your relation let the Blade and Phoenix Guild grow closer. I hope so as well. My brother gave me this for you. He got a small package out of his pocket and handed it to the butler, who in turn gave it to Mr. Blade. Great, but this isn't why I called you here. Then, why did you call us? Well, I came to know about an acquisition you made yesterday and would ask that you relinquish it. I was puzzled. What was he talking about? I looked at Ren and he didn't seem to have understood. What are you talking about, father? I'm talking about the werewolf. Ren was shocked and exclaimed. How did you know? Did you think that only because the leader is on your side the rest of the group is? Ah. Anyway, what you did could be considered genocide, and if it wasn't for me, the admin would already be at your door. Genocide? How could that be? He looked at Ren as if he was an idiot, which he is. She is the sole member of her race, and if you prevent her from expanding it, then it's genocide. So don't go clinging to petty grudge and just leave her alone. The admin is not the only one protecting her. I couldn't help but ask. You are protecting her too? No, I'm not. But if it wasn't for you too, I wouldn't have intervened and let Dorothea kill everyone involved. Who is Dorothea? And why is she doing this? None of your business, but I'm warning you, she is not someone even I can mess with, so release the werewolf and stay far away from it. He turned back to Ren. Understood? Yes, sir. Perfect, now let us eat. The rest of the meeting was just us eating in awkward silence. When we were finally back in the car, Ren said to me. Well, I guess you need to release her. Yeah. You are calmer than I expected. Well, I can't do anything, and if it's Dorothea, then I can't say anything. And who is she? Can't tell you, I'm not even supposed to know. Anyway, let us just go back. We then made our way back and he dropped me at my house. Natasha POV. Anyway, after Julia came back, I left and got back to Claire's place. Of all the people I know, Richards has the most chance of knowing her. You know, being director of AU.N branch and all.